Hi, this is Kayla Valerio, comic cover artist and the creative director for the Artist Bullpen, and you're listening to 11 O'Clock Comics.
Hello, folks. This is 11 O'Clock Comics, episode 1000. Thank you for being with us. This is, again, a little different than usual, mostly because it's episode 1000, so we decided to bring in some friends, some slackers, some podcast listeners, some people who've been with us for a very long time. Longer than 1,000 weeks, actually. But so you'll hear some voices that you haven't heard before. They'll introduce themselves throughout the evening. I am your host, David A. Price. As always, I am joined by my friend for most of the 1,000 episodes, and you are?
Well, I've got the night off for reasons that most of you know about, so I'm here because I'm Jimmy Kimmel.
I really wish you were. I really, really wish you were. But you are not. You are not Jimmy Kimmel. Because no, I like the dude. I truly do. You are not Jimmy Kimmel. You are Jason Wood, everybody. And as I said, this is episode 1000, and it is sponsored by, of course, our fabulous sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. I do believe we do have Max with us in the room.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Yes, he unmuted.
Hello.
There he is. What's up, Max?
What's up?
This is very meta. We're going to do this.
Cheap Graphic Novels himself.
Sponsorship with the sponsor here.
This is awesome.
I am here. This is weird. I've been listening to you guys talk for like 13 and a half years, and then now this is the first time we're actually talking to each other.
Jason actually had a question earlier before you got here that hopefully you'll be able to answer. But yes, before we get into that, as I said, cheapgraphicnovels.com, they always have specials every week, all the new releases. There are a few this week that were spotlighted. DC Finest, The Spectre, The Wrath of the Spectre, trade paperback, $23.99. Originally introduced in More Fun Comics, number 42 in 1940, and co-created by Jerry Siegel, DC's grim arbiter of justice. The Spectre resurfaced in the 60s for all new and sometimes controversial stories, demonstrating the true power of his vengeance. This volume covers stories published between 1966 through 1988 in the pages of Showcase, numbers 60 and 61 and 64. The Spectre, numbers 1 through 10, Adventure Comics, 431 through 440, Ghosts, 97 through 99, and The Brave and the Bold, issues 72, 75, 116, 180, and 199, plus All-Star Squadron, numbers 27 and 28, which have never been collected in prior Spectre volumes. Hero Bear and the Kid, Volume 1, The Inheritance, hardcover, $22.49. When 10-year-old Tyler's grandfather passes away, he inherits an old stuffed bear and a broken pocket watch, but life in a new town, battling bullies and adjusting to everything that's changed are just the beginning. Soon, Tyler discovers that things are not always as they seem, and that you shouldn't judge a bear by its cover. Join Tyler as he goes on his amazing childhood adventure and learns how to be a hero while he unravels the mystery of his family's secret legacy. Mike Kunkel's Hero Bear and the Kid is a heartwarming journey that celebrates the magic of friendship and the wonder of growing up. And finally, for Vince, Scooby Apocalypse Omnibus hardcover, $74.99. The entire Scooby Apocalypse saga comes together in this thrilling collection that reimagines the beloved Mystery Inc. gang in a monster-ridden dystopia. Follow Fred, Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, and a genetically modified Scooby-Doo as they navigate a post-apocalyptic wasteland filled with zombies, monstrous creatures, and shocking betrayals. From the revelation of Velma's dark secret to Fred's transformation into a chilling, undead antagonist, the gang faces horrors unlike anything they've ever encountered. A must-have for fans of Hanna-Barbera's boldest reimaginings, and anyone ready to see Mystery Inc. like never before. Collects the entire Scooby Apocalypse, numbers 1 through 36. And There are a bunch of other specials at cheapgraphicnovels.com. Put in your first order, send Max an email letting him know EOC sent you. Your next order has free shipping. Max, what is the origin of Cheap Graphic Novels?
The name or the business?
Yes.
The business, my friend. Come on.
I used to work at a comic book store called Pulp Fiction in Long Beach, California. And shortly after I started working there, my ex-boss said we're going to start a website. So I spent a very large number of hours. I watched the entirety of Buffy and Angel, manually adding every single book one by one because we didn't have a way to do it in mass like I do now, which is nice. And it launched from there. I was the first like full-time employee in the winter of 2010, the holiday season, and just kind of kept growing from there. My ex-boss, he opened another store in Culver City, California, got bigger and bigger, and then flash forward to 2019, he decided he wanted to do other things and sold the website to me, sold the store to my one of my best friends, Ryan. He still runs that Pulp Fiction in Long Beach. And it got crazy real fast with COVID, and here we are. 6.5 years later, been running the business completely on my own. I mean, I ran it the whole time, but I wasn't the owner, and now I've been doing that for 6.5 years on my own. Well, not on my own. I have a lot of help, but that's
And
the origin of the business there.
how do you manage it when you're on tour with the band, which is a thing you've been doing again lately?
Uh, I just work all the time. I mean, I'm lucky I have people. I'm lucky I have people that can handle the day to day for me. It definitely couldn't have happened early on. Well, first of all, my dad works for me, with me, for me, which helps a lot. He came to help me. Like I said, when the pandemic happened, shit just got real crazy real fast. And to the point where I was working for about 2.5 years. I worked 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. No days off for like 2.5 years. And then one day we just caught up and I could breathe and it was amazing. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is weird. So yeah, I'm very fortunate that I have people that I can trust to take care of the day to day, but there's always things that only I can do. That's why I always tell people like no one else can order the books. So no matter where I am in the world, no matter what I'm doing, when that FOC hits, that's got to be me. And I have to do it every single week. I was in Japan in July and I had to do FOC twice.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of it. I mean, would I rather would I like to be able to take vacation? Sure, but it comes with the territory, and I'm more than happy to make the trade-off, you know. I'm getting to do what I want to do for my business and for, with my music, and yeah, I can't really complain. And having to do a little work on the road, when we're on tour in like the US in a van, I work in the van, thankfully, able to hotspot from my cell phone and do all that, try to get as much done in the van as possible. But I'm also one of the drivers, so I can't always do that. I'm working in the venue sometimes. I get off stage, kind of relax for a minute, and then go right back to work. And I just make it happen. Got to make it happen.
Respect. Well, listen, man, it's a real treasure to finally have on the show. As you know, we've invited you on many times, and I wasn't sure if you were just like. I used to think you were just really like shy, and then it dawned on me that you like tour the world in a band, and I thought this motherfucker, he just doesn't want to come on the show. So it's good that.
No, I would
guy.
love, yeah, I would love to come on for like a full episode one time for sure.
All right, you
I
heard
mean,
it
like
here
I said,
first, everybody.
We'll make it happen.
like I said, I had to go back and check. I don't know the exact first episode
Uh-oh.
the Daredevil Born Again Artist Edition came out, because that is, I don't know if if David, you remember it all, but I went back and I actually listened to that episode earlier today with Chris talking about how he got the damaged one and he called the store, and I was listening to the podcast when he called, and I had to pause and pick up the phone. So that was in June 2012. So it was sometime before that. So um, yeah, I'm going to say 13 and a half years. And then I thought, it's like 800 odd episodes, 2 hours average. So I think I've listened to you guys for about 65 plus days, 65 plus
I'm so
days of my
sorry.
life
I'm
spent
so
spent
sorry.
with you guys.
I apologize.
No, honestly, it you guys like mean a lot to me, even though it's the first time we're talking, face to face or whatever. Uh, you guys do really mean a lot to me, and it means the world that I'm able to be on here and sponsor the show. And um, it really, it's a really, really important thing for me to have you guys in my ears every week.
Man, you get me all verklempt.
Yeah,
If you'll allow me, I want to take a minute here, since I always feel like this is the A block. I assume most people don't listen for the whole show, depending on what we talk about. But this is episode 1000. Obviously, as some of you that were here before the official start of the episode, we talked about how we didn't really have a grand plan for what to do with the episode until a week or two ago, and we kind of just had this mutual epiphany. It was like, well, ultimately, I mean, to whatever extent this crazy thing has a legacy, it's I think just this incredible community of friendships, and I, the cool thing about it is that, like, although I guess we're like the hub of the spokes, so many of you have made like intensely strong friendships with each other, like outside of our connectivity, which is incredible. And again, like, since we're kind of taking a walk through history, I mean, I always say anytime we've had an anniversary episode, I have to give credit to CGS, because for as much as, like, we, I guess 17 years in, have been sort of the catalyst for lots of friendships, we wouldn't exist, and a lot of the friendships that we had early on and still have wouldn't have existed without CGS. And then, iFanboy and Around Comics, those three shows really, for me, were the first podcast I listened to. I mean, I didn't know what a podcast was until I listened to CGS. And then obviously Chris was one of the founding four of the show, and he was doing double duty with AC for a while there. So it's just kind of this weird, you can kind of like trace the line, right? Like, you can kind of like patient zero all the way through to whatever we are now. And, then we've obviously had a bunch of awesome podcasts that have come, from our community as well. And, including, I see Mr. Newbury there in the audience here, their show and many others. So obviously Tony Esmond's here, and I always joke that he's the sort of they're the British version of us. They're like our British offshoot. They're far better than we are, frankly. But at the beginning, I used to joke about that. But I just want to say to everyone that's listening, and then everyone that's here, just cheers and thank you for giving a shit about anything that we have to say. It's kind of stunning, right? Like, we all have lives and other, we all have other paths that we walk each day and week, and it's an incredible flattering comfort to know that some tiny section of the world actually gives a crap about what we think about something. I think it's these days, especially, like, I'm very sort of melancholy about the idea of people having opinions online. And I feel like it's very much ironic that I'm saying this, at the start of a podcast anniversary episode, because ultimately, it's all part and parcel for the same stuff. But I just feel like, I'd like to think that the people that are here or listening, it's all organic, and it's because we have a shared love of things, most notably comics. And so, just again, sincerest thanks and love to all of you that have, been a part of this journey, whether it's, a week ago or 17 years ago that you first heard of us. It means a lot. And I never in a million years, when the Paisan reached out to me and said, hey, you want to do a podcast? And I was like, I don't have the time. And he said, nah, trust me, I'll produce it. All you got to do is show up for a few hours a week and talk comics like you would at the shop. And I thought, okay, this might be fun for a couple months. We'll see how it goes. And here we are again, many, many years later, and still doing it. So cheers to y'all, because we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have a community that sort of gave us, feedback back and energy back that suggested that, what we have to say has merit. So thanks to y'all, and appreciate it sincerely.
Well said. Yeah, it's been an absolutely wild ride. We since well, I know we have a few people here from over the pond, and it's early, so we should probably at least hear from them. I think, for everybody else who's here and wide awake.
It's true. If you're up at 3 a.m. your time, you get first dibs.
Yeah. So since Ian was the first to join us, if you feel like saying anything, Ian, please feel free.
Oh shit! Ian?
Yeah, sure.
There you are.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I just want to go back to the first time I checked out the podcast. I actually checked the episode today. It was 332, which was September 2014. I was in Portland, Oregon, buying a stack of Morrison books, and the guy behind the counter said, "Hey, they talked about multiversity on the podcast today." I was like, "What podcast?" I was like, "EOC." I'm like, "What's that?" I had never heard of comics podcasting before. So I had my iPhone 4, I think, and gave me the link. I went back to the hotel, and that was it. I think I've listened to every single episode ever since, every day on the, as soon as it released over here. Yeah, and I want to thank you for it. I've bought, you've emptied my wallet on many, many occasions. And yeah, I just want to thank you for everything you've recommended to me, everything you've done for all of us here. So, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. And Ian, I will share a story about Ian. So DAP every week on the Slack, for those of you listening that aren't part of the Slack community, every Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, DAP starts a thread in the morning when he gets to work, or maybe before work, I don't know, but pretty early in the morning, and he posts the comic list for the week's releases, and then with the idea that each of us shares the 5 books that are coming out that day that we're most excited for. Mm-hmm. And Ian is 95% of the time the first person to post. Like I take great, immense pleasure in the few times per year when I post before him. But he always gets it started, and I always find that very charming of you that you make that a priority.
It's straight after my lunch hour, so as I'm sitting, I just finished my food. I sit down, and then it's like, yep, I know what I'm going to post today. So
yeah,
always good.
So cheers to you for that, sir.
Thank you. Tony still here?
Esmond, you here?
He is.
Yeah, still here. Hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Ah, cool. Thanks, guys. So you've done well there to have 2 blokes on who most of your listeners won't understand.
Well, they don't understand us either, so
that's true.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about when my first one was. I remember. I think I found it recently. I found it like a business card. I think I must have got it off you, DAP, for ball.
Or you got it from Liam Sharp, but
business cards. I don't carry EOC business.
You could have got it from Liam Sharp.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've been there from the start, and I listened to Bullpen Bulletins. I always remember the one where Neesman was drunk off his arse. I remember laughing at that in the car. Yeah.
The death of Captain Marvel, I remember vividly too. When they brought, not the death, but when they brought Captain Marvel back.
Yeah, the return of Captain. Yeah.
That was quite the episode.
It was the El Pickle episode too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so crap at tech. I remember when I first started listening, I had to burn CDs off to play in the car. That's how bad I was. I'm still not.
Now, when did? Now, remind me. How many years after we started did you start the Awesome Pod?
Oh, we've only begun. I think we had our 500th. So.
Right, but I mean, so that's what's that? That's okay. Yeah, but that's how many years?
Yeah, we're just over 10 years now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, our sort of blatant copying of you has only been 5 years now. But thanks for the lovely words, Jason. They're absolutely not deserved, but yeah, it's very kind of you.
Listen, your Slack channel is pumping, dude. It is. I can't even keep up. Like I log on and I'm like, there's thousands of messages. I'm like, I gotta parse through this with the quickness. So
most absolute filth as well. Just
that's true.
Genuinely, just filth.
You Brits are dirty bitches. Yeah,
we are. We love the C word. So I haven't said it on purpose. Yeah, yeah. So I think I've been there. I quite happily would say I've listened to every episode. Um,
Goddamn.
yeah, I think so. That's a lot of my life. So thanks, guys.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Your life.
yeah, I don't think I've had sex during an episode, but I'm willing to give it a go. Maybe not on video because nobody
But
needs to see that. But I
Baltimore.
might well report
Yeah, what are you
tomorrow.
doing in Baltimore?
Yeah, let's.
We'll,
Idea.
you,
You've got a spare 30 seconds in your show. You can put it in.
yeah,
Spare bit of
we'll
audio
record.
for you there.
Be in the corner. Dap and I'll be waiting in the corner of your room with the mics
He'll be in the
turned on,
cut chair.
hot mics. Then
I'm
you
liking it.
bring
Yeah.
a lass home. You work your charms, and then
Yeah.
make it
I
happen.
mean,
I've got
it's
the
Cliff in a
cover.
wig. I don't know why you're saying bring a lass home.
Well, I didn't want to.
He's a very attractive man.
I didn't want to tell Cliff since he's not here. But yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, he's a tall man. I'll climb that tree. I'm willing. Yeah. That's
Fair
good.
enough.
Yeah.
No, well, we have
I know
great
you've
love
got-
for you. You have also been a guest on the show.
I have.
been a
Very,
while,
you've been
but-
very kind. Yeah, a couple of times I've been on. Yeah, very much enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks, guys. And as always, thanks for keeping the love going for comics and promoting some of the books that not everyone sees, including mine. But yeah, no, it's very
Oh well,
kind.
we
And,
we do
some of our
talk about your
favorites.
books because they're hilarious and everyone should read them.
Yeah, I've just been away with Falpy actually to a convention. And
Oh,
it was
nice.
his usual mischievous self. Yeah, we've got. I've got a thing coming out from. I write a column for American Nature. That magazine from the Santos sisters, and this month
Yeah.
it's about perverts in comics. So I don't want anyone to think that it's about Falpy. It's
Okay.
definitely not about him. Yeah, just so we're clear on that.
Not at all.
Very nice.
But thanks a
Well,
lot,
thanks,
guys.
brother.
Yeah, as always.
We love you. So can't wait to see you in a month at Baltimore.
Looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. All right, Dap. I see a bearded gentleman under you on the screen. He's blurry. Hopefully, we can hear him.
He is blurry. Yeah.
Scotty,
Yeah.
Can we hear you, Scotty?
You can
Oh,
now.
no,
I
no,
muted
no.
myself.
Oh, there we
Maybe
go.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can.
Well, I wanted to. I need to
everybody-
mute myself. There's a lot of bugs buzzing around here.
Yeah. Well, you do live in the sticks.
Yeah.
I do not actually live in the sticks. I live in just a straight up suburb of Kansas City. You live more in the sticks than I live in the sticks.
That's true. I was hoping to see you this week because I know you're not the biggest sports fan, but I didn't know if you were aware of the fact that my beloved team played your beloved team from Kansas City this
Yeah.
weekend. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I was aware. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but again, they're both good teams and all, but it was in Kansas City, so of course, obviously you guys presumably won, but it turned out another way. We got the dub, so it was
We
pretty
knew,
exciting
but
stuff.
this-
Actually, I just
Here's the funny thing. So Casey's birthday was
I
this
know.
week,
I wish
and-
her happy birthday. Yes.
she I've not been a big sports fan ultimately my whole life, but I live here now and you can't not be now, right? So we watch it. Baxter, my son, my 15-year-old, he's gotten really into football. So we got her some Chiefs tickets. Him and Casey are going to go to a Chiefs game. And I said, look at the home schedule because I don't know shit. You tell me what game to get tickets for. And Baxter said, probably not this Sunday. We're going to get beat. So my son,
Bax knows what's up.
yeah, no, he knows
Baxter.
what's up. He knew, and he was correct. We did, yeah. We're not looking hot this year.
Well, it's early. It's early, buddy.
Listen, I'm gonna say a few things before you get into things. I do
go
want to let all your people
ahead.
know that Jason, in his inviting skill set, said, "Hey, do you want to come on the episode for our 1000th episode next Thursday?" This is on Monday. I think everybody in this chat would assume that next Thursday means not this coming Thursday, but the next. I want a shake of heads because I see a lot of muted. Correct. So as I'm sitting out here on my deck, the fucking Orkin man came. I just cooked dinner. I'm chilling. I'm like, fucking the day's over, bro. I inked a 4 connecting cover today. He's like, jump on here in 15 minutes. I'm like, do you think that next Thursday means this coming Thursday? And then when I click the link, It's like asking me for my birthday, like fucking Pornhub age verification. And like I gotta steal the knock list to get into the EOC. I'm like, what? I was like, these are my guys. I have to be fucking Ethan. I gotta be Ethan Hunt all of a sudden to get on an episode of EOC. My guys are big time now. Big
Got
time.
to pay to play, man. You of all people should understand that.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
I was like, man,
I
these
mean-
motherfuckers are making it mad difficult for me to get on this show. I had to do like 3 captchas, like which one doesn't belong. And I'm like, I guess I don't belong. That's what this is. Computers telling me. Fuck.
Listen, I'm just grateful
Great.
that we're doing this. That this episode fell in a week when you're not like on a PJ flying somewhere, to be the guest of honor at a con. So,
You know what? You
That's
guys,
happening
I
at Lake
don't do
Como,
that many anymore.
no, I know you don't.
No.
Yeah.
I don't do that Lake Como thing. They want you to go there and draw all that stuff. Who's going to do that business?
I mean,
I can go
God
draw
forbid.
for you guys.
God forbid you
draw.
draw.
That's all I do is draw. I don't want to get on a plane and go somewhere else and draw. Shit. And
Yeah, for
congratulations
sure,
to
for
you
sure.
guys. It's so fucking amazing. When you hit me up, I mean, you guys, we've known each other for it feels like 45 years now. But
Yeah.
when you said for the 1,000th episode, I was like, what the fuck is happening? How have you guys been doing this for 1,000 episodes?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, honestly. One of my sons a couple weeks ago was talking about like commitment. Like they were talking about some like the idea of commitment, and they were like,
You need to tell your sons to
asking-
get a hobby.
"No, I know. Listen," and they were like asking Beth and I like, like I assume you guys are good at commitment since you've been together, for going on 30 years, and I was like, I'm the king of commitment, dude. I'm like, I've been at the same company for 25 years. I'm like, I've been with football guys for 25 years. I'm like, I've been with mom for 30 years, and I'm about to be at my podcast for 17 years. I'm like, I definitely don't have a problem with commitment. If anything, it's like, once I'm in, But
If anything, you should be
man,
committed.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate you popping on. I have to say, of all the sort of folks in the industry that you definitely are one of our oldest and dearest friends, and part of that again is that connectivity. Like you, for the non-old heads listening, Skottie for a bit was actually on Around Comics back when they were doing the so interesting dual format.
Dark Tower. Oh yeah. Well, even at Dark Tower
the Dark
too.
Tower, and it had the different and then I met you that way through Chris at Windy City, which was a little mini con that they put on back in the day, and and then we were fast friends from there. But it's pretty.
You were
like there are certain. Yeah, go ahead.
You comment like, but you were like, so I think I was on Around Comics for about a year. I kind of came on like all of 2007. They invited me on as a guest, and we cut up. And I mean, for those who don't know, like at the time, I just lived, a couple miles from that neighborhood. Like we were all Chicago people, and one night, before I was even a guest, Mike Norton asked me to go like with them and hang out, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, at that point, all I did was sit in my house and draw my apartment and draw comics all the time. So I was like, fuck, I'll go hang out with some comic nerds and talk comics all night.
And this is like Human Torch era, Skottie Young.
No, that was way after that, dude. Wait, that was 2003, homie. iTunes didn't even exist yet. That's how old I am. I'm sure we're all showing our age at this point. 2007 was like whatever, it doesn't matter. But those guys were hilarious. They had me on as a guest, and then I think they got a lot of emails. We had a good time, and then they were like, "Hey, you want to like be a regular on the show?" I was like, "Hanging out with comic book people at a comic book shop on Friday night. That sounds fun as hell." And then I remember you guys. I remember just what I loved was this. It was the first time that I had outside of message boards. I mean, I was a message board kid growing up, right? Like those early 2000s where the message boards became a thing. So this podcast community And I listened to a couple other podcasts, non-comic book related, because this was the baby days of podcasting. You guys remember this?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I just remember it being so cool, like this community building, which I utilize to this day in my day-to-day business building. Like the stuff that you guys have done and Around Comics was doing, and what you guys have done uh, has been so inspiring to watch that tactile community building happening with a bunch of like-minded people is awesome. So yeah, it was kind of fun to get in there and knock around for a year, uh, and then of course everybody starts, like all great bands, everybody starts splintering and doing their own thing and creating other bands, and then you guys clearly won. Yeah, it's like you guys,
Well,
what you guys, you guys became Audio Slave, but you guys lasted 65 years past Rage Against the Machine.
I don't know if I like that analogy, but like I'm gonna go with it. I think. I guess. Dude, how's my fellow hip hop guy giving Audio Slave fucking analogy? Like,
Listen, I'm also a '90s kid who grew up on. As much as I grew up on DOS FX, Redman, and EPMD, I also grew up on Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and and Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, fair.
So I remember being so freaked out the day that Audio Slave was like became a thing, because I couldn't reconcile it. I couldn't reconcile the Rage sound, but Soundgarden singing. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
It's working.
This doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I took over your whole spiel.
No. I think there was some feedback because a couple people weren't muted up. Yeah, well, no, man. Again, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man.
I know you listen. Full disclosure, I know you don't listen as much anymore because you. It's funny. So I'll give you a little. So Tony Fleecs, aka the fourth chair. We were chatting earlier this week. He reached out to me because he's on a plane right now. He may be able to. It depends on when he lands if he pops on, but he texted me to say, hey, I don't think I'm gonna make the show because I'm gonna be on a plane. And then he said, dude, he's like, I listen in batches now because I'm pretty much like a writer now. And so, like, he's like, obviously he's still an artist, but he writes way more than he draws. And he's like, it's much harder to listen to podcasts when you're writing than when you're drawing. And I said, bro, I'm like every artist we know that listens to the show has basically said that. Like, I'm like, Skottie used to listen religiously. Like, we dropped the episode and like 10 minutes after the episode dropped, we'd get comments from him and Jay Tomio. We'd be like, oh, okay. And then now Skottie doesn't even listen because he writes. So,
Yeah, it's super strange. I mean, I would listen to your episode so fast that I was listening in the drive-through at Hardee's getting my breakfast on the way to the studio. Like, that's how quick I was in it. It's probably one of the biggest bummers of the kind of shift in the focus of my career over these last 7 years is the lack of podcast time that I have.
Yeah.
Especially, but I mean, I miss it, but there's also, like, weirdly enough, like drawing, I could immerse myself in the world of comics and hear it all and hear all the opinions and all the stuff. As a writer, that I primarily have been writing and doing covers for so long. As a writer, I almost like to shield myself from what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it almost influences me too much, or I don't want to, I just kind of want to be in my own bubble. So now, like, most of I laughed today because I was inking some covers and I just do it in silence now, like a fucking psychopath. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like my only time where I shut my office door. I don't hear anybody else in the studio, and I'm just like, I can't believe. And I laughed to myself. I was like, I can't believe I'm not putting on a movie or something. But most of the time now, like, I kind of do like a 4 or 5 mile walk every morning, and I mostly listen to movie podcasts now, like something out. It's tangential to what we do, but not directly. Because I just feel like I need a little break. But yeah, I do miss when you invited me. I was like, fuck, I miss listening to these guys, because for anybody who doesn't know, these guys feel like brothers to me. Like, and what I appreciate about these three gentlemen is they've known me over a spectrum of my career. They've never treated me different or treated me other than fellow fucking geek who likes to nerd out about comics and movies and music.
Yeah.
Which is I can't tell you how much I appreciate. Because it can get weird at times, but these guys have been like brothers to me. So it's been amazing to watch. Like even just now when I was sitting here on mute and I listened to you say 17 years, I was like, "Wait, this motherfucker's juicing the numbers. It's not been 17 years."
No, it's been 17 years.
Because somehow Dap has become better looking. I don't even know how that works out.
Listen, for those that don't, like, most of you have never probably seen Dap, at least other than a few pictures. Like, I've known Dap for nearly 20 years, and he is sexier at 52? 52, Dap? 53? 53?
53.
52. 53? Yeah. 53. He's sexier at 53 than he was at 35 when I met him. He is...
I mean, I'll tell you right now, and I'm going to tell everybody...
and fit, and he's all lotioned up. He's not ashy. He looks good. He looks good.
I'm going to tell you right now,
and I'm going to tell everybody on this...
Everybody on this feed, I'm not saying that to have a little bit during this show. Dap will fucking back me up on this. I straight up DM'd Dap out of fucking nowhere one day, having to do with nothing public. This was not for public consumption. I said, I'm just going to let you know right now, you are one good-looking motherfucker. You look fantastic. Dap, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I screen capped it. It's in my photo album.
He's got it framed. In fact, it's right next to the Lobo Commission.
It's on the other side. Yeah,
that's right.
He was online talking about something and doing one of his videos. I was like, look at this motherfucker right here, looking good as fuck. And I was like, I'm a big person. I'm a big person in life. If you feel a positive way, you got to let the people know. Like, I think too often in life, most people spend their time making sure that they let somebody know they don't like a thing or they didn't like this.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
But I am a big person. Like, if you go have a good meal, go let those people. If your server was good, let them know that they crushed it. Like, go let people know that you got some enjoyment from whatever they're delivering to your life. And Dap delivered some fucking sexiness to me that day, and I let him know about it.
I'm so glad you did.
know, Skottie, we asked the folks, the community this week to, if they were going to pop on tonight to either have like a favorite comic that they read this year or a memory of the show. And I was thinking about this week, and I thought if you came on, I was like, obviously Dap and I have a million memories over the years that have been great, but I have to say one of my all-time favorite EOC related memories was, and again for long-time listeners, you've heard this story before, but pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic, the year before, Skottie and his lovely wife, and then Megan, who now, of course, if you're part of the Skottieverse, Megan is now synonymous with Skottieverse, but back then she was just a neighbor friend. All came to New York, and I believe you were here for like the New York, one of those Muckety Muck Marvel retreats. And we had been talking about hanging out, and you and Casey and Megan came and stayed at Casa Wood for a little like 4 or 5 days, and we chopped it up, man. And then Dap and Renee came, and I think back to that time with such fondness. I mean, we laughed nonstop for like 96 hours, like and I also said, and I probably said this before on the show. We have we don't have a crazy large wine cellar like fridge, but like we have like a decent sized wine collection.
Yeah.
By the time Skottie and Casey and Megan left our house, we were literally out of wine. Like, I think we drank like 30 bottles of wine in that. Like,
we got after it. I'll tell you that. We all got after it. Yeah.
And the reason, here's why it's really mean. Oh, I was going to say the reason it means a lot to me, like above and beyond, we just had a great time, is that. I mean, and Dap and Skottie know my wife, but most of you don't know my wife. My wife, again, we have an amazing relationship. I love her to death. She's extremely tolerant of this obsession. She obviously tolerates the ridiculous art and the time I spend reading comics and obviously doing the show. But she is just not into comics. Like, she has never read a comic. I don't think she ever will read a comic. She listened to maybe 10 minutes of the podcast 15 years ago and was like, I'm good. And so she has like no real window into like this part of my life other than Vince and Dap, who she sees multiple times a year. So she knows them well, but like other than that, she has like no window into it. And I love that like Beth and my three sons all like they also don't have many memories of the show, but when they think of the show, they often think of that week because like it was
That's
visceral for them.
awesome.
Like they were home. Yeah, so like so when I think back of all the time, almost 2 decades we've been doing this, like that little less than a week little like hangout that we all had
Yeah.
was like super great because again, it's like when they think of the show, I think that's what they think about. So
I love
cheers,
hearing
brother.
that because thank you. Cheers. Cheers back. I love hearing that because you know, no matter what place in this industry or business or hobby or craft we all are, whether it's podcasters, artists, writers, listeners, fans, whatever, it's like it's all the fucking same. Like that's the hardest part for people to understand sometimes. Like it's like you guys know me, like I'm the same fucking nerd that I was when I was still trying to break in. Like 25, 26, 27 years ago. Like I mean, I might have achieved a few
Just with
things. I might
many
have
more zeros in your bank account, but yeah.
I mean, listen, I have a few ducats. I mean, that's fine. It's fine. But uh
Cheers.
we I we that week was really really great to and I think just be able to hang out and did we play Heads Up? I feel like we played Heads Up that night. I don't know what we did.
We did.
I mean, we
Yeah,
Yeah, we
were
did.
we did.
We
yeah,
did.
we played some
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
we got to hang out with Renee, which was Renee is the fucking best. Beth is the fucking best. Everybody, we had such a great
The
time. We did
definitions of
drink.
better halves, yeah, for sure.
We definitely got to. What I loved was I got to see Jason in his full home personality, and we got to learn
Oh,
about inappropriate cleaning, which I think even each of us has a spouse or friend who does an inordinate amount of inappropriate cleaning. When they
oh,
start having
ridiculous.
some feelings, they start having some feelings, and they don't want to deal with, and then they start like cleaning the baseboards. Like this is probably something you guys don't know about Jason Wood. I'm outing you, bro. Uh, that you guys, and here's the thing: you guys coined that term. I think it was Beth. Did Beth coin that term?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, inappropriate cleaning. I use it 3 times a week since that week.
Nice.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, so
yeah.
are you doing some inappropriate cleaning? That's cool. Um,
For sure, for sure.
uh,
Yeah.
I will say so. If you want a memory from the show, I'll give you one of my memories. That means a ton to me. Is I've been friends with these guys since they were listeners on around comics, and then they started at 11 o'clock comics, and I started listening to that, and then became started coming on the show. But like I make it clear, and you guys know this. I was a listener of the show, not just a guest of the show. I listened to every episode, and one morning when I still years ago when I was still in Peoria. Was in the Hardee's drive-through getting breakfast before I went to work. Listen, it's fucking Peoria, Illinois, bro. Like, and I wasn't making good choices with my life. Just let's calm down. I was in the drive-through and listening to the episode, and they were talking about saber-toothed swordsman. This, and I was like, that
Oh
is a
yeah.
weird fuck. That's a weird fucking title, saber-toothed swordsman. And listen to it. I'm in the drive-through, and as I'm in the drive-through, I Google book waiting on my food and it pops up like, oh shit, this is fucking great looking. So I clicked it, Amazon, boom, ordered it. It's at my studio the next day. I devour it. Aaron Conley's art blows my mind, and I instantly am like, hey, hi. And I reach out to Aaron Conley, and a number of years later, he and I are doing image books together. So like discovering what I loved about you guys is it wasn't your typical let's just run down the Marvel and DC books that are hot. Because despite the fact that I've been at Marvel for like 26 years, I don't read a ton of Marvel and DC books. It's a very like it's I've always been like an indie guy reader wise. Um, so you guys were always so good with expanding my horizons on what's out there. Because, I also lived in an area that didn't have a great comic book shop at the time, so I couldn't really go out and just like peruse great shops. So I depended on shows like you guys to really, even though I'm in the industry, it was still up to you guys. And so I discovered Aaron through that, and now we own a small business together with Bully Wars and uh, things like that. So yeah, those are my favorite moments. Or on the other side of it, the times that you guys have asked me what I'm reading when you guys brought me on the show, you guys asked me what I'm reading, and I start putting you guys onto things. I'm like, you guys should definitely keep an eye on Ramon Perez. I'm going to tell you right now, this
Oh,
dude's
dude,
going to be the
yeah.
guy.
You introduced me to Ramon at a C2E2 at the bar, and and we're like, oh, this is my guy. He's going to be doing a book called Tale of Sand. It's going to be big, and and it was like, obviously, you were dead right.
And I was like, listen, this dude's going to win every Eisner Award that they nominate him for. And he's like, oh, no, no. And guess what? He did. That book was phenomenal. He won like 7 Eisners or something crazy. Uh, but yeah, I just love the sharing and growing of this whole thing that we do, that you guys have a true passion, which, I mean, I'm on another side of the line where sometimes it's difficult to connect with people who still have the passion for it. While I'm
Yeah,
this
no
is
doubt.
gonna be a little bit of a flex while we're talking about, tell you
I
guys
can't hear
somebody
you, buddy.
who
There you go. You're back.
real. Am I back?
Oh,
Okay.
you're back. You said
Actually,
this is going to be a little bit of a flex, and then you blanked out.
okay. So this is gonna be a little bit of a flex, as I just was talking about, like people who still have a big passion for this craft and this hobby and this our whole thing. I just got a text from somebody who probably is still one of the most passionate people about comics that I know, which and I it still blows my mind the amount of love that he has for this. I just got a text while I'm on here with you guys from Todd McFarlane.
No, Toddy Mac. Look at that. If only Vince
Toddy
were here
Mac,
to
the
appreciate that. Only he would appreciate
The Todd
that.
Father, the Todd
The
Father.
Todd Father.
He's doing a little something something for me, and
I hate Fairlane
he
toys.
sent me a little screenshot of. No, but it's I hate Fairlane
I hope
related,
it
but
looks,
he
better
sent me
than
over a li-
Than Frank's contribution in the
Stop!
Batman.
Stop!
You hush your
Stop!
oh my god!
Stop!
I was like, you hush your mouth, sir. That was rough. I don't just whatever. It's fun. Yeah,
Nice.
so here's the thing. I Todd and Spawn and that whole Image crew when I was a teenager, just they were my fucking heroes. Like my fucking heroes. Like, so the idea that I'm on talking with my friends about comic books and one of my heroes is texting me like, "Hey, check this out." I'm like, I still geek out. I will never not geek out on that kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, what do you guys
Nice.
got planned for the rest of the evening?
I mean, you're looking at it. We have a couple other guests coming on. We've got a bunch of people who's sitting in the queue we want to talk to.
Okay.
And that's it, man. Like, we're just celebrating the evening. So, yeah, much love for popping in. And hope to
Yeah.
see you soon. Hope to see you soon. So,
Well, I love you guys like brothers. I appreciate you.
Back
I
at
am
you.
so fucking proud of you. I am not just proud of you, I'm appreciative of you for what you do for not just me, but this whole medium, this whole industry. You guys are a really big, important part. I know you know that, but often in life, we don't say those things to the people that need to hear them because we think they already know it. So, yeah, keep doing what you're doing and keep enjoying it. Keep having that passion. And maybe I'll go back and start listening to you guys again. Probably not, but I might.
oh, dare to dream. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
love
it.
you guys. All right, guys. Enjoy the
All
rest of your
right.
night.
Love you,
See you soon,
Scotty.
bud. All right.
Thanks, bud.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Peace. There you go. The Scotty half hour. The Scotty hour. I was going to say the Scotty hour, but it wasn't quite an hour. So
Now,
yeah, but I think we should. Before we go too much longer, we should acknowledge our boy who's not with us.
Yes, absolutely. Especially now that Scotty brought up Todd and you threw that Frank dig out there. Yeah, no, it's we absolutely Vince isn't going to be able to make it tonight, but yeah, we absolutely. I mean, none of us would be here without him forcing us to do this with him. No, we had a. It's. I mean, everybody's heard the story before of how Bullpen Bulletins came about. We can thank Chris for that at Wizard World Chicago one year, because Sean and Jim were doing Raging Bullets, and someone had the bright idea to maybe do a Marvel centric show, and we were just within earshot of that, and so 30 odd episodes of that on a very, very sporadic schedule, which after some burnout from the Diva, we there was a beef. It was a little bit of a hiatus, and then yeah, he said he missed doing a podcast, but we should also have a couple more people join us, so this way we can have a bunch of different ideas and conversations about things. So Chris was natural, since he was there to sign us off on Bullpen Bulletins, and then Vince says, I know this dude Jason over at the CGS boards, and I'm like, I trust you. I mean, I haven't interacted with him all that often.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, what about Lobo? Like, can we get Lobo? But no, we were just like, so who of course is Jason's pretty much nemesis from CGS.
Could you imagine if
I could not.
Lobo was the guy?
No, but yeah, so it was the third episode when after Jason's schedule finally cleared up, and he was able to join us, and we pretty much that's been it. So we would not be here. We would not have 1,000 episodes. We would not have you folks here in this room with us without Vince. So absolutely 100%. I am raising my glass to Vince B.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be hearing from him. You will be hearing his voice very, very soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just much love to you, Vince, and thanks absolutely for everything.
Yeah. Just as an addendum to that, I mean, first of all, excuse me. Obviously, we genuinely appreciate. We've gotten literally hundreds of people, reaching out in the last month asking about Vince, and we keep telling you all, like, wish him well. He can't be here. Obviously, it's not really our story to tell. Hopefully soon we can have him back to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, know that he has immense love for everybody here, and I think you all know, if you've listened to the show for a long time, that like Vince very much wants to be here. So again, hopefully he will be soon. But bringing it up a bit, like, Dap, I was thinking about this week. And I hope you don't take offense to this. I do not, for the life of me, remember the first time we met in person. I don't remember when it was. I don't remember the interaction. Do you remember? I assume you're. I don't remember.
It had to be. It had to be Chicago. I think
so, right?
Yeah, we had to have flown out to.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, was it?
So you don't remember either?
No, I don't. I don't know if it was a C2.
Because we were doing the show for a long time by then, and then so it didn't feel like, obviously the reason we don't remember is because it felt natural. We had already known each other so well online by then. But like Beth was asking, and I was like, I don't actually remember like the first time I like laid eyes on Dap. Like I don't like. It just kind of happened. Like we were just always, it was like a comfortable pair of jeans. I do not remember. It was not like a codified moment. Like I remember meeting Vince because I met him at CGA. I met him at the at episode 300.
Yeah, and I met him for the first time face to face at 100.
Yeah, and I remember that like as much because of the event itself. Like 300 wasn't a memorable thing. I met lots of like, but yeah, you and I it must have been that first C2. It couldn't have been that first C2E2. It couldn't have been, right? Because
probably not the first one. It was because I bought tickets for 300, but wasn't able to make it. So I did see you there. But yeah, so it had to be it had to be sometime after that,
because you and Chris and Vince went to Wizard World Chicago with that. I didn't.
Well, that was the first time, right? After,
because that was when Ringo died, and you guys all came back all verklempt.
and that was a little weird because Renee was like, so this is just somebody from Chicago that you know that you just met online, and like, so you're just gonna go to his house, like you're gonna fly. So he had to, so there was some, we had to massage that, but yeah, so that was the first time I met Chris, was for Wizard World, and yeah, and that's, if it's not that year, it's probably the following year, but for Bullpen Bulletins. But yeah, if I wasn't at the first New York Comic Con, I went to the second.
No, I remember Vince and I walking back from what was the name of that comic store down at the south end of New York. I forget the name right now, but like we were walking back from that, we had gone to see it, and we called you to talk to you. I remember that. Like I remember talking to you on, like we were close enough that we were missing you not being there. We called you to like update you on the weekend. So yeah, it must have been C2E2 that next time when we all finally met up.
Was that you guys stayed at the Milford Plaza?
Yes, it was with Freaky Tiki, and we walked in on his boss his buddy having him jerking off. Yes, we did. Yes, in fact.
Okay, all right, that's.
Yeah, whew. I mean, since we're sharing tonight, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was quite the time. The beautiful Milford Plaza,
the lullaby of old Broadway. So now,
yeah,
I want to hear from some people. So
yeah, for sure. Thank you all for sitting quietly on mute while we've chatted to this point. I appreciate you all for that. We have lots of amazing people in the studio with us. So let's start hearing from them.
And I know some names are familiar from the Slack and from meeting them, but there are a couple names here that are new because they're not either Slack names or real life names, and then of course there are people on camera who I recognize. Chris from Comic Book DB, no longer unfortunately, but he was here pretty much from the start. So we can start with him, and then and then everybody else can take turns.
And before Chris speaks, I have to say, and I've said this to him personally, I totally get why you sold the site, and like much love to you, but like there's not a day as a comic fan that goes by
there's nothing
that I don't wish you hadn't sold the site.
Yep.
I mean, listen, I feel the same way, right? Like there have been multiple times where I've said, what did George Perez work on in 1982? And it is next to impossible to find out.
It's
and I
so
think,
hard, dude.
Once again, if only there were a site that did this. And then I remember, oh, right, I did sell that.
You did sell it, yes. But for the years that you ran it, it was absolute. I mean, for the first I don't know how many years ago you sold it now, but like for the first like decade plus of the show, there wasn't an episode that I didn't reference the site, at least like subconsciously, where I like looked up beforehand. So I like, because it was such an easy way to to chronicle a creator's input. And I know you thought the same. I know that when you sold, like, we all hoped that either the people that bought it from you would carry the baton, or someone else would kind of like pick up the baton. But I mean, as we now know, how many years later, like no one did. So it's tough, man. Like Wikipedia, like there's some. I mean, it's way harder to sort of pull a bibliography of a creator now in a cohesive way that feels like fully complete. So but much love to you for putting in all the years that you did with it.
I appreciate it, man. And like, listen, I have had 2 or 3 times where I've started like rebuilding it and then fell off because I'm just too busy in life at this point. And sometimes I think if I'd realized that those guys weren't going to continue it, maybe I wouldn't have sold it. But then I think I bought my first house and I put my kid through college, so I'm okay.
Well worth it.
The end result.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen. Obviously, congratulations to you guys. 1,000 episodes is bananas, right? And I was thinking about it this morning when I realized this was happening tonight, and I realized that I have known you guys longer than literally everyone in my life, aside from my immediate family, at this point.
Wow.
And like, it has been a real treat watching you guys, from like getting to know you at CGS. Then Dap and Vince and Bullpen Bulletins, and now EOC. Like, you guys, it's been a real evolution to see you guys go through things and where you're at now. And I'm still listening every week. I can't stop you guys.
No, we definitely appreciate
Kind
that.
of you, man.
I know
It's
that
kind of you.
there were the association with. I remember Chris setting up the code so that I could add a sidebar for random issues, random covers, on the old forum. So this way, Comic Book DB had a direct connection from the message board back to that site. And I remember stupidly sending you a message once saying, hey, it'd be cool is if you had something like IMDb where if I wanted to find out if one creator worked with another, he's like, why don't you just fucking keep scrolling down the site, man? It's right there at the bottom of the page. And you could actually see if one creator collaborated with another creator without having to click through a bunch of comics, hoping you might find a connection. But it was, Chris has just been... And we would also joke way back when, because he lived in New York for a time, we would talk about northern New York, and then of course him being up in Canada, and it was just it's a friendship that is completely random, super happy it exists, and I'm so glad you're a part of this, man.
Well, I get as much out of it as you guys do. Like, now I see several faces on this chat that I see on a monthly basis in the book club that we have in EOC, and I'm in the Fantasy Baseball Keeper League. We've been doing that for what feels like 15 years.
Oh my God, yeah.
And there's just so many connections.
Well, I got to talk about the Keeper League. Of the 5 leagues that exist, we got to talk about the Keeper League. I'm in 8th place. Come on, dog.
Keeper League. I have led Keeper League for almost the entire season, and now I'm in 3rd because my team has just shit the bed.
Yeah. No, I mean you've had a good squad for sure.
Yeah.
There's one league where I was in 1st place for a lot of it for this season, and now pretty much everybody's either off every night. I have a couple of injured people, but the last couple of weeks of the season, everybody's pretty much taking a night off, and I'm like, well, now I'm in 2nd place. This is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not going to bring up who's in 1st place now.
We all miss Vince, but this conversation couldn't have stopped. Couldn't have gone on for more than 30 seconds.
This is true,
right?
No, that's true. Nothing is more saltpeter to Vince than sports talk of any kind.
That is 100% true. I want to make sure everybody else has a chance to talk. So before I go, you guys prompted us and said, think about comics you've loved this year, or favorite moments of the show and things like that. And so I immediately had my favorite moment of the show pop into my head. And it's one that literally no one else that is listening to this podcast will remember except me. And because it was so meaningful to me. I got married to my wife 8 years ago, and I don't remember if that predates the Slack or not, but at the time, I don't think I said anything to anybody EOC related about it, and my wife and I went on a 2-week honeymoon, and we were getting on the plane to fly back to Canada, and I'm walking down the aisle to get to my seat, and all of a sudden, I'm listening to the latest episode, and I hear Jason say, oh, and by the way, shout out to our boy Chris and his beautiful bride who just got married, and so on and so forth. And I was like, A, how the fuck do these guys know that? But B, that is so fucking thoughtful. And it literally stopped me in my tracks. I think somebody was behind me and they ran into me, and I, my wife's like, what's going on? And I told her about it, and she thought that was super cool. So yeah, you guys are amazing, and here's to 1,000 more, and I love you guys. So congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Feelings mutual. Yeah, it's really nice of you. Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Gonna get me off a Clint over here. You guys are.
It's gonna happen a lot tonight.
Shit.
Let's see. Who's that? Well, Neil. Now that we might as well talk to Neil. While he's
I was gonna say if we're going by apparent order. Yeah, let's go to Neil. Neil, and he's got his camera straight too. We have to reward him for that as well.
You should pounce.
When Neil first popped up, everybody, Neil was his face was at a 90-degree angle, and then he asks us, "What can I what can I do to fix this?" And I'm like, "This is a you problem, buddy, not an us problem." I don't know how to fix your camera. So, welcome, Neil.
How's it going, guys? Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Is that a He-Man figure to my right? To your right?
It is, Skeletor.
Okay.
Skeletor.
You're one of those He-Man dudes, huh?
A little bit. It was a clearance on Target, so I had to. But
as you know, I've never been a He-Man guy. It's always been a struggle for me.
I never liked the cartoon. I thought it was, I don't know. I just didn't like the animation.
Yeah. By the way, Neil's got the. Have you guys noticed? Because like Dap and I have the same. Like, I think like until like this bald head, glasses wearing beard look is like the new like standard American guy look. But like this was not a look until like a decade ago. Like I think in all of human history, this was not a look until like a decade ago, and now half of Caucasian men have this look. It is good if you commit a crime, we're never going to get pinned for it because it's like it's like half of us. Like, okay, yeah,
that's true. We all look alike.
Yeah, but I digress.
But I'm for trying to think of like my favorite memory. I think it was just when I discovered you guys.
Which was when? Like how long ago?
I'm gonna say it was like single digit episodes. Like I was just looking for a comic podcast, and I tried a bunch of different ones, didn't care for them, and I started listening to you guys, and it was like these are guys like I just want to hang out with and drink beer with, the thing, and it just felt right, and I've been listening ever since, and I've tried other ones here and there, and I just can't do it. This is pretty much the only podcast I listen to.
Oh,
wow!
Appreciate that.
That either makes us codependently insane, or thanks. It's one or the other. I don't know which, but yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
No, it's,
well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you
for been such a.
Thank you for all the support over the years. For real.
100%.
Oh no, you guys are welcome. It's been my pleasure. It's been such a great show. You've introduced me to so many different things. I was just, I had a very narrow window of things to read, and you guys have just like, especially with the manga, like with Vince, that really got me going on manga. Now I feel like that's pretty much all I read now. But it is what it is.
You and the rest of the world. I mean, the manga anime numbers are astounding. Like, and I say manga anime because like on both mediums, right? Like manga versus print competitive stuff, and anime versus like it is incredible. I mean, I think I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned. I probably mentioned on the Slack. I haven't mentioned on the episode because it happened this weekend. But I went to see the new Demon Slayer movie with my youngest son. We've watched all of the anime together, and he was like, "Hey, Demon Slayer's got a new movie. Do you want to go?" So I said yes. I was gobsmacked because they were like showing the movie on 4 different screens at our local theater, and we, our theater was packed, and the whole theater was packed. I mean, like every showing was packed, and then of course, now it's history. But at the time, I was like, wow, it seems like this is going to be a hit. And then of course, I looked, and it did like over $60 million in its opening weekend, which is just insanity. Like. It's like, and it's just indicative of like, and again, like I know we're just kind of all chatting tonight, so it's not like thematic, like any big topic, but like I have been thinking a lot about, if you think about like the roots of our show, I mean, inherently, if you go back and listen to like episode 1, while we certainly talked about lots of non-Big Two stuff, I mean, I would say that like our collective reading of Big Two was like universal. Like we. We read like almost everything the Big Two put out, and then we read other stuff. And then obviously, as we've gone on this journey, I mean, now it's like, I think it's fair to say Dap reads the most Big Two stuff of us still, but he still reads lots of other stuff. I mean, I read way less Big Two than I ever did. Vince reads almost no Big Two, and it's just interesting because like I think that while there's like great American non-Big Two comics, like it's like the next generation of comics readers are all into Japanese comics. It's stunning, man. Like it's and like I haven't quite figured out why does manga appeal like versus American comics. Like I know anyone that's here tonight, like if you have like why do you think manga is appealing so much more to this next generation than American comics? Do you think it's marketing? Do you think it's like hype beast stuff, like because their friends are into it? Like, do you think it's just better storytelling? Like I'm trying because like I obviously enjoy it all, but I'm curious as to why it's just crushing English comics.
I mean, for me, it was just refreshing. You know, I mean, somebody dies in American comics, and a couple months later they're coming back. But shit happens in all these books, and it's so refreshing. It's just anything goes. I like boobies, so there's a lot of boobs, so that's part of it too.
Yeah, I saw. If any of you out listening have seen the Demon Slayer movie, one of the previews for the movie was Chainsaw Man, the movie, and the fucking animation looked incredible. I mean, I was like completely hyped. I was like, this looks ridiculous. I mean, the animation looked incredible, and my son, who again I was there with, had not read Chainsaw Man at all, and he was like, "Oh, this looks cool," and I'm like, "I got a bunch of the volumes, like you can, but like, it just, I guess it's just a little more. I don't know if it's just like for all of us old heads, it's like I guess it's the appeal is that it's new, but like I'm not so interested in why we're dabbling, but I'm more interested in like why the young crew, like my kids' age, are only into that stuff and like could give a shit about Batman and Superman. Like they just don't care. And I don't have an answer. Like I can't quite figure it out.
I mean, it's got to be a couple different things, right?
I don't know. What do you think?
Part of it's just generational. They're not going to like what their parents like. Parents like them.
That's true.
Generationally, they're gonna gravitate towards something that's similar but different. But then there's also like the sheer swing that like manga is able to take. There's so many books, and it's so big in their culture. It's not a small part of their like American culture. Like the movies are huge here, but comic culture is relatively small. Like even like as many books as we have, we pale in comparison to what's happening in like what 10%, if that.
That's fair.
So,
no, that's fair. All right, Dap. Let's go to I'm going purely by who I'm seeing on the screen. So let's top left. I see Mr. Newberry.
Same.
With the buzz cut, by the way. You got a buzz cut. When that happened?
Dude, I shave it down every like 2 months and just grow it out and then shave it back off. You just haven't seen me in the cycle.
You are one of the. I don't remember if I said this before or after the official start of the show, but I said that like one of the cool things is like this like daisy chain of like Patient X being CGS and then going onward, and obviously you and Hassan and Brian with Comics Discourse 114. Congrats to y'all. You've been at it now for a couple years. You have not pod faded, which is great because I feel like lots of pods fade after a little bit. You've passed that pod fading phase, so congrats to you there. But it's good to see you tonight. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just like you said, Hassan, me and Brian met through y'all, just like you did with CGS. I've not just those two, but I've met some of my best friends for life from y'all. I mean, I've been listening to you guys for 16 effing years now. Been a lot of ups and downs and life changes. Heck, I think I sent y'all a note when you hit 500. That just because it seemed like I'd known you so long at that point. But we've definitely doubled that. But like I said, Hassan and Brian are like some of my best friends I've ever had, and met them through y'all and talk to them daily. Talk to y'all daily. Yeah, you guys have made a big impact on my life. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And you've been a guest on the show. You've been a guest on the show. 11 O'Clockers co-host 1 year.
And one time when you were out, tapped me
that's
on
true
the
as well,
shoulder and drafted me. And you guys have both been on our show.
Yes. And as you know, you were one of the people who attended the C2E2 where Mario and D-Dub and I went to a fancy dinner when the rest of y'all were
I met you on the way out as I was catching my Uber because your fancy dinner didn't end until like 11:30.
And I hit you up like weeks later being like, dude, I really feel bad because we had, been internet friends for some time by then. And I felt like super bad about that whole evening because first of all, we had a great dinner. It was an amazing night. But like, I did feel bad because the dinner went long. And then by the time we got to the event, most of y'all were either already turned or leaving or like completely, it was a little bit of a mess logistically, and I was like, dude, I felt bad that I didn't get to hang out with you, and that was many years ago. But I have to say, like, to your point about, again, these friendships, like, I have spent an evening with you and your husband in New York. Like, it's like, it's that, I mean, you and I have hung out many times, but like, I feel like the spouse meeting is always like that extra, that's like the next phase of friendship, right? When you have the spouse meeting, like that's I don't know, like for me, that feels more significant,
It
Which,
is.
none of you have ever met my spouse because she'll never set foot in a comic-related circumstance. But nevertheless, she's very lovely, and you would like her if you got to meet her. But but I really enjoyed meeting Jason, and so yeah.
Yeah, I joke that Facebook wants me to be friends with every slacker's wife because they end up being friend suggested at some point. Renee is always
That's
up
true.
Like the top of
My wife is not on Facebook either. She is a social media ghost. She does not participate in social media, much to her.
It's probably
brilliance.
a wise choice in this day and age, but hey.
She was active, and then when I went crazy during the first Trump election and ostracized myself from literally 99.9% of my hometown where I live, she couldn't take it anymore, and she dropped out, and she's never been back. And I think she's very happy about that. So it's my job every morning when we're doing like the crosswords and stuff to be like, oh, hey, it's so-and-so's birthday today, because she doesn't know anymore. So she's like, oh, thanks, and she'll like wish them a happy birthday. So.
Well, I want to take a trip down memory road for a minute here, though.
Uh-oh.
You guys have had a community active your entire freaking time, all the way back to Bullpen Bulletin's message boards. How many versions were there, Dap? 2 or 3?
Total of 3 when all was said and done.
Yeah, I think I migrated through all of them at various points, but did we ever figure out who Chris whatever numbers was?
Yeah.
Yes, that means yes, and Dap don't want to call it out.
Wasn't it Mario?
Yeah. I'm not going to say.
It was Mario, right?
We finally found out who it was.
There were, I mean, for a while there were accusations that it was Mario, that it was Zach, that it was
Zach. Isn't that funny?
Well, maybe that's why it worked.
Zach's not capable. He's serious as a heart attack. He's not capable of that.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I love Zach. I'm not besmirching
Zach.
Yeah, that's not his vibe.
Absolutely,
that's not his vibe. Yeah.
And there was also the rumor that it was Athena Bryant creator Athena Voltaire creator Steve Bryant.
Wait, was that a rumor?
Yeah.
Wow.
There were a lot of rumors.
I don't think Steve.
There were a lot of rumors. There were a lot of rumors.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Mario, though, right?
I can't say for certain.
Wait, what? I'm going to text Mario right now and confirm. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, he might pop in a little while. He's going out to dinner, but he might be in later. Or maybe he's been trying, but we're maxed out. But I mean, well, we're not now. But yeah, so.
Answer an over decade-long.
Yeah, the mystery that no one really thinks about these days, but sure.
Dap, I'm like you. I remember everything and hold a grudge for fucking number 2.
Yes.
You and Dap are very similar. You both hold grudges. But again, if you're gonna throw criticism, somebody got to give them back love. You are a genuinely caring and good friend. You are, like, there are people in the world, listeners, if you're not participating tonight, like, you'll know what I'm saying. Like, there are connectors. People that like almost are preternaturally good at staying connected to people, and Brian Newbury is one of those people. He finds a way to connect to lots of people, like, consistently, and it's often like, I'm like, how does he have the energy to do that? So, but much love to you for doing that, because I think it's all for the better. Like, I think everybody's connective circles are better for it, but like, I don't have the emotional capacity to be a connector, so I'm always impressed by those of you who are connectors. So
if you're one of my people, you're one of my people. That's all there is to it.
No, facts. Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Anyway,
did you? Oh, by the way, Mario says he was not Chris. He was, do you remember when you started listening?
Yeah, 2009. I don't remember the first episode, but I had taken up jogging and was dropping weight that I since put back on, and am now nipping at Dap's heels on the way here on the way
Fellow
down.
yo-yo,
But
cheers to yo-yos. Cheers to the fellow yo-yos out there, everybody.
I listened to y'all while your shows were 2-3 hours, and that's about how long I would go for, about two, and yeah, and then commutes. So yeah, you guys were with me for a long time and through a lot of life moments. So yeah, 2009. I think it was like in the 50s, maybe even sooner.
Nice. Well, much like with Tony Esmond, I look very much forward to seeing you in 1 month, sir.
Yep, just a couple
Yes.
weeks. We'll have some fun. I
Yes,
will
sir.
let somebody else talk. So
All right. Well, love you, brother. You know that.
love y'all too.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Who? I'm scrolling, Dap. If you have someone, I want to make sure we try and go in order of, to make sure we honor people's showing up. Well, I don't see his video face, but Iopi, you were here before we did the intro. Do you want to chat, or are you just hanging out? I'm guessing he's just hanging out.
Probably drawn.
Yeah, he's probably drawing. He's just listening and drawing. Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine. But I'm trying to honor who came first. All right, we got Chris. Let's see who was next. App.
Well, I don't think Mr. Ellis got to talk much before the official start of the show.
Yeah,
or at least tell us his thoughts on 1,000.
We heard of all that his soon to be Montana trip.
Yes.
Austin, I want to know two things. One, how are you feeling about the Jags? And two, how's the coffee company going?
God damn it. Why you got to bring up the Jags? Why you got to bring up the Jags?
Because I care about football as much as I do comics.
Yeah. We're in the Jags are in a weird spot. Everything I thought was going to be good is dog shit, and everything I thought was going to be dog shit's playing pretty well right now. So I guess the good thing is you would hope Brian Thomas can become the player that he was last year relatively quickly.
Agreed.
That should be a quick turnaround for him. And if that happens, we look like a playoff team, but you have to have that happen to be close to a playoff team. Yeah, I mean, it's still just constant pain and insecurity always. That's the life of a Jags fan. And then coffee company's going well. We're in the process of finding a roaster right now, and moving into a different space. But taking it slow, purposely taking it slow, trying to do things the right way. But yeah, it's been cool. I mean, if I'm being honest, like a huge chunk, like percentage of people I know of, like our buyer has come from this community, from the Slack
Nice.
and stuff like that. Like outside of like the firefighters directly, I would probably the next biggest like group of people, like demographic wise, would be the EOC community. There's probably been a total of maybe 15, 20 different people from EOC that have ordered in some way, shape, or form. So that's been cool.
Nice. And for those that are listening that don't know what we're talking about, our good friend Austin is a co-founder, co-owner. I don't know the economics of it, but like you and your couple buddies who are firefighters have started a coffee company. Again, you've probably heard over the years us recap certain cons. Austin has regaled us with the best coffee I've ever had at Heroes Con. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago? I forget, it was 2 or 3 years ago. But you you made like specialized coffee for each of us, like depending on what you thought we'd like, and it was incredible. Like definitely the highlight of that show. And you and your buddies have launched a company called Spotter, Spotter coffee company. And I am a customer. It's delicious. My wife is hella snobby when it comes to coffee. I mean, not as snobby as Austin because he's like scientific chemist snobby. I'm like much more of a plebe. Like there's either like good coffee or not good coffee to me. But my wife is like pretty like choosy about it. And so when I ordered your coffee, I was like, my boy's starting this coffee company, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna be real with it. And then we bought two different versions, and we've made them both obviously since then. And she thinks they're both delicious. So for those that want to check it out, check out spotter.coffee, and you should and could order Fuel for the Fire.
Oh yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean the most important things in my life are comics, coffee, and my daughter. And all of those things have been brought up on the show. So kind of piggybacking on what Chris was saying earlier, one of my biggest memories was getting called out. Me and Davin have daughters that were born on the same day, or I think at least a day apart. And just listening, that first week of being a father, not even really realizing if anybody knew or not, and then having the shout out, having my daughter's name called out kind of on the show was just something that was really cool. And then since then, you guys have shouted me out a few times for a lot of non-comics based stuff, and that's always it's cool to hear. So appreciate you guys.
Much love, buddy.
And my first episode was actually New 52 Days. I was just getting back into comics. Was trying to listen to any podcast I was reviewing stuff because I was just diving headfirst into things. Listening to, iFanboy, IGN had one at the time. Joey Esposito, I think was that dude's name. That was the host of that show. I'm pulling back in the Wayback Machine. And then 11 O'Clock Comics were reviewing every issue of New 52. And you guys were the only one that I felt like weren't bullshitting me. So I stuck around.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that we've always had this mindset of I forget who said it earlier, but it's it's much easier to besmirch things. People, it's if you go to a TripAdvisor or Yelp, you're always going to read negative whenever people have a bad experience at a hotel or a trip or a restaurant, they feel compelled to tell everybody how bad it was. But way less people who have a great experience feel compelled to share the great experience because they're oh, that was a great experience, but they just feel that's par for the course. And I feel that's the same with comics, right? There's lots of haters, and then that's a bad listen. I think 2-3 hours of people just bitching about things sucking is a terrible listen. Nobody wants to listen to that. But we have other friends who have done shows, and again, shout out to them. Listen to many, 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 many episodes of them. But the Raging Bullets guys, right? Awesome guys, incredible human beings, but they loved every single comic they ever read, and it was hard to then, attenuate what was worth your time, because if they like everything, you just don't know what to try. So I think our mantra was always we're just going to keep it real, but always with the bent of we're going to lead with the positive, which is to say that if we're each going to bring something to the show, we're going to bring what we liked. And then if we happen to have read something collectively and or that someone else wants to talk about and we didn't care for it, we'll be honest about it. But we don't want to all lead with oh, this is what sucked this week, So I feel we've struck a healthy balance. I mean, obviously, 1,000 episodes. There's been episodes where I've been the Office meme where he's where Steve Carell's it's we're we do get mad negative and you're this is bad listening. I mean, we have to just keep it real, but I think generally speaking, we've kept a pretty decent balance where it's most of the time we're bigging up stuff we love, but we're never going to lie if we don't like something. We're never just going to sugarcoat it. So I think, I mean, again, there's no formula, but I think we've tried to do that.
I think and I think it's been pretty clear. I mean, even with friends of the shows, you guys will say this is hard to say or something, but you'll go into the real review of it, even if it's a homeboy, and those are things that I think people pick up on. And yeah, there's a lot of either.
I was just saying, I personally object to that and feel that you should give any friend of the show a easy good review.
Especially if they put you in their comics. Yeah, sure.
I want to put that out there as my official policy.
So for those that don't recognize the voice and are on the live Discord, and the name is Lasagna, so you're like, who the hell's Lasagna? Everyone, please welcome to the show. Oh, you did? Oh, please welcome to the show, Mr. Tom King.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? Congratulations, man. This is a big accomplishment. Well done. Holy shit.
Thank you, sir.
That is a ton.
Yeah, you are a fascinating microcosm of our journey, because obviously everyone, you yourself have shared the story.
Started listening.
We all did.
As did I. As did Dak. We all did. Obviously the famous story, of course, when you were a novelist more than a graphic novel, more than a comic writer, when you slept, on our floor of our Airbnb in Chicago. And now the rest
tattoo that day, a Moby Dick tattoo.
No. Dap Dap, Vince, and I all got our first tattoos that weekend.
Yes.
I got a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy tattoo. Dap got a. What did you get, Dap? What did you get?
Grendel on my shoulder.
The Grendel, yeah. And Vince got a.
Art is everything. Larry Martyr.
That was the first one. That was the. Okay,
or was that the Monster Head? The Monster Head may have been the first one, and then the next year was Larry Martyr.
Yeah. And Tom was a aspiring comic book writer. He was, I believe, had a meeting at DC lined up for that weekend. He was hoping to land a gig.
One meeting, yeah.
And now, fast forward 17 years, and you're.
Now we got Lanterns coming out.
You're just under Shonda Rhimes in the Entertainment Weekly Power.
I'm right there. That's it. Yeah.
You're right there. So, but thanks for popping on, man. It's good to see you.
My absolute pleasure. I've been listening since Marvel Bulletin. So that's
Bullpen Bulletin.
Close enough.
I'm older than you.
Close enough, though.
Did I get close? I don't know.
It was fine.
Bullpen Bulletin. That's close,
popped
though.
up in my Apple fucking list.
Yeah, the old iPod.
Yeah. When I was in Pakistan. Jesus. Yeah.
Wait, you were still at the CIA when you were listening?
100%. Yeah, I was overseas.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to the preamble, to the one before this.
Yeah. Bullpen Bulletins. Yeah.
To Bullpen Bulletins. Yeah. I was an original.
Well, that probably helped you learn how to torture people.
It did. It helped me learn.
That's
I just played that.
Can we even joke about that? It's
well, we can. It's probably not. It's not correct. But yeah, we probably shouldn't. But we can.
So the weird thing about Utah is that we have been trying to have you back on the show for some time, and as you know, but we thought we had it locked up a year ago, and DC was wilding out with some kind of handler, and they were you can't talk to him without my permission, and then so we were all right, and then you texted me a week later, be dude, that's all over, you could just have me on whenever you want, but there was a window there when it was you were being mega kid gloves, we couldn't have you on, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's because I'm the dumbass who leaked on Sal's show Comic Pop that James was directing Superman.
That's why you got yeah.
It made international news. It was I was the clickbait of must have been the slowest fucking news. It was back in it was when there was no news, unlike today, unlike now. So yeah, it was just, and I had no idea that was even a secret because he'd already said he was doing Superman. I thought it was just known that he would. When was this? So anyways, yeah.
Dude,
so
I've been meaning to ask you though.
We're putting a handler on you, so
you don't do this. For those that don't know, you have been heavily involved in the Hollywood stuff of late, including one of the, I don't know your title, so excuse me, but you're one of the creative forces behind the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh yeah, I created that show. Yeah, but
yes,
I'm not
thank you.
I don't run it. I'm one of the creators.
But co-creators, okay. Yeah, but I was listening to a podcast with Mr. Gunn recently, and he was making fun of when he was at Marvel at the creative committee, which was Bendis and
Miller.
What was it? Yeah, all of and it was the comic book crew that was in charge of weighing in with the movies, and he said that his approach with the Guardians movies was always that he said they would come at him with 100 notes, comments, and he would be very polite and be thank you for these are very helpful, and then he would ignore them all. And I thought it was interesting because now he's running obviously the DC side, and and like he was very much like dismissive of that whole thing. Like he was like I was polite, but I ignored them because like they don't really quite know what it takes to make a movie that's going to appeal to the masses. And then I thought, okay, I'm like, but what's interesting is like, but the people he's got working with him like tightly at DC are like yourself and others who are like also comic nerds. Like it's like it doesn't seem to like spiritually you seem like the same kind of people. So like what is it about your approach to how you talk to him about these things that doesn't put him off? Whereas like when Bendis would tell him stuff, he'd be like, go fuck yourself.
I feel like you're trying to get my handler to come back.
No, I'm not. I don't want you to saying like it's an interesting dichotomy though. It's a
talk about any of that stuff. My God.
Oh, it's a dichotomy though. I don't know.
Fall for that little thing. If you ask me any James Gunn questions, you're gonna get the same goddamn shitty answer, and I apologize. It's gonna be like, it's all wonderful. It's a true answer. It's 100% true. He's an awesome person. He's awesome to work with. He's super on top of everything. He's a nerd, and I respect him. But you're just gonna get this generic bullshit. You don't want to ask me about that.
All right. Well, how about this?
Ask me real gossip. How do I feel about?
How about this? How no. How was it like obviously you have been doing more Hollywood stuff. Like how has been your experience with that? Like do you feel like how involved are you with the Green Lantern? Like are you there like on set? Like do you have you seen like what do you again? I'm not asking you to spill tea. I'm just saying like has it been fun, exciting, exhilarating, gratifying? Like what has it been like to be involved in that part of it?
It's been incredibly fun, incredibly exhilarating. How involved? So I was myself, Damon Lindelof, who created Lost and Watchmen.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
And Chris Mundy, who ran the show Ozarks at Netflix. The three of us got in a room and sort of it was based on an original pitch I had made to James, and we took my pitch and sort of and they added their TV expertise to it, and then we had a writer's room, and I spent 6 months of my life in Los Angeles and doing the writer's room thing. Wrote a few of the episodes, including parts of a bunch of them, and now I'm also an executive producer. So yeah, so I everything from casting to watching the episodes to notes to all that. I'm not the showrunner of that. I'm the showrunner of the new show, Mr. Miracle. Of that one, Chris Mundy, the Ozarks guy, is show running it. So he's sort of the auteur of the show. I'm though I created, I'm in a support role.
And where will these air?
It'll be on HBO.
Well, on HBO. Okay.
It's like the Penguin. Yeah.
Nice. And so, are we like fully PJ now that we're show running shows? Like, are we like private jet only now? Is that like?
Yeah. I don't have house in New Jersey money yet, so I don't. What
please, listeners, let's not let Tom be shy here. I know it's always been a running joke about me being, Mr. Capitalist hedge fund guy. Like I make a very good living. I'm not gonna deny that. But Tom does quite well for himself. Let me assure you. In fact, I've been meaning to reach out to Tom to see if he wants to become a client. That's how well he's doing. So let's keep it 100.
Yeah, no, pass me a card, man. Are you any good? Jeez.
He doesn't do business cards.
Pretty good. I hope so. I've been at it for 25 years. Shit. I mean, but Anyway.
It's going well. It's weird. It's very strange for me to like. I'm a nerd. I come from 100% comics. It's all I ever wanted to do. It's my dream job. I'm still doing it. I'm writing Wonder Woman. I did lettering pass today. But it's very weird to do this Hollywood stuff and try to, I don't know, make that work. And
is the hardest part of that being away from the family?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I've disliked immensely being in that writer's room away from my kids for so long.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just knowing you, yeah.
And I was flying back and forth to LA. I did sort of 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off for whatever that was. So, I'm flying to LA next week for more. So I almost spent about half my life in LA now. Real well.
I mean, but like presuming that it's successful and like it's going well, does that open doors for you to pitch other ideas, comic or non-comic, to like again? Do you see yourself doing more, non-comic stuff just because the opportunities are there?
Yeah, I mean, right now most of my work is because right now we've got It's a long list, but it's a lot of work. I'm basically doing 3 jobs simultaneously right now, plus a few on this side. So we have Love Everlasting, my image book, is being turned into a movie at Sony that I'm also helping to write and executive produce. So that's going right now.
Shout out to Elsa Charretier.
Lanterns, of course, is in production now, and we're working on that. It's great. Mr. Miracle is the based on the book that you guys were big supporters of and would not exist without 11 O'Clock Comics as anything.
Raj is shaking his head. He's loving it. Raj is a big fan of it. Yeah, what's up, Raj?
Yeah. So that's I'm show running that, and I'm writing every episode. So that's a lot. They just announced.
So when does that start, or is it already started?
The work is working on it now. Yeah.
No, I mean like the show running, because I asked because we tried to have Jeff Lemire on the show and hope to soon, but I was on the phone with him talking about when he was doing the show running for Essex County, and he was legit I don't know if he was legit absolutely consumed by the time it took to show run a show, and then and again I don't know Ed Brubaker personally. I don't know Matt Fraction personally, but no, I'm saying, but I've heard them speak to, I've heard them speak to it as well. As they've showed run, so it's it is all consuming. It's from a time perspective, it seems like it is a thing that's way more, consumptive than anything else they had done as creatives before. And so I'm wondering if are you about to dive into that, or you're already in it?
No, I'm in the deep end of it. Yeah, we're swimming, and it's a lot, but it's not writing double ship Batman while writing Mr. Miracle is also a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You people in Hollywood don't know this, but the people in this room know this. I write a lot of comics.
Yeah,
and comics are hard work. So it's people in Hollywood are like, oh, I sometimes get, they just don't understand. They think that's, like a kid stuff I do, but making comics is a full-time job of pouring your heart out into making the best story you possibly can. And so I don't see Hollywood as more work or more legitimate than all that other stuff. So I've, I come from the trenches, and it's not that bad. In fact, I feel like people in Hollywood, I don't want to throw the whole town under the bus because I grew up there. But, I feel comic book writers, we're more used to the pressure. We live a higher pressure life than even they do. Because when we write, we have to produce a story a week, and that story goes out to 100,000 people who all have opinions on it. And then the next week you have to write another story. In Hollywood, people produce a story every 6 months, and then who knows if anyone sees it. So I've been in the pressure cooker for a while now, so that doesn't bother me anymore.
Right.
Makes sense.
It does.
But I'm not done with my stuff. So I'm also writing. There's an Archie movie. It's at Universal, and we're in the middle of that. So I'm writing the screenplay for that, and there's one more. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh well, it'll come to me.
Well, listen. Before we let your busy ass go, why don't we take a minute to talk about us instead of you? And tell us how much you love us, and tell us about your favorite memory of us, or your favorite comic that you're reading other than the one you're writing.
My favorite. I mean, you guys have changed my life, literally changed my life, and you know this story, and I'm sure I've told it 1,000 times, but I'm gonna tell it again because it's life changing. I grew up without friends in comics. I was a super comic nerd. It's all I did. As a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, all through high school, and I was scared of it. I was a closeted comics nerd because when I was a kid in the 90s and 80s, people would beat you up if you said I like comics. It's weird. I don't know if people today understand that as much, but there was a thing. And then like a lot of people my generation, I dropped out with sort of after the Image Revolution when everything went crazy, and came back to it in the early aughts when Bendis and Rucka and Brubaker added sort of an energy that was awesome. And in that time coming back to it, I still didn't have people who understood comics the way I understood comics. I'd never talked to anyone who understood comics on my level, who had read every single issue of Avengers and could tell you, the difference between the 3 Black Knights or whatever the stupid thing is in your brain. And it was through an 11 O'Clock Comics board I met a group of friends who formed the No Apology sort of clique. They were huge 11 O'Clock fans, and as was I, and we formed this sort of clique. And these guys were my first comic book friends. They were online friends. And it was
Shout out to Daryl Taylor, Gil Colon,
yeah.
Raph, Chris Kazicki.
And we formed that group out of your boards, coming right out of your boards, out of just being fans of your show. And we've become those people are my family. I talk to Daryl every single day of my life. I talk about my kids. I talk about my problems. I talk about comics. And Kazicki was the person who advised me to go on Batman. I mean, just throughout my whole life, we became a family, a second family that I never had, all because of this show. And that's a gift. It's like a gift for life. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. That's honest.
I appreciate that, man. Well, obviously, we've been big, huge fans of your work from Jump, and it's like one of the coolest things of the last 2 decades is seeing people like you and others go from making your break to being the dudes, and it's pretty cool. It's really cool. And I will say to those listening, who maybe don't know you personally, one of my favorite things about you is that despite the fact that your bank account is stacked now, intensely stacked, you are the same.
I'm about to get a wood call. That's big.
Yeah, you are the same human being now as you were then. You are just unassuming and friendly and accessible. And again, if most people were as successful as you in their chosen career, they would become much more like bougie. So credit to you for keeping it real.
Can you imagine being a bougie comic book writer?
Oh, there are plenty. Are you kidding me? There are plenty. What? There are a lot.
I take two toys and I bash them together,
Dude, there are a lot of bougie comic writers, and I'm not asking you to put anyone on blast, but I will confidently say that that's the fact.
Yeah.
I know, but this morning I was debating, what is the sound when a tiara hits a person in the face? Is it PNNCH or PNNQK? That's how you be bougie when that's what you do for a living.
I said this week that the only bad thing about Absolute Wonder Woman is that it takes eyes away from Wonder Woman proper, because I think your Wonder Woman is one of the all-time best Wonder Woman runs. No bullshit, not because you're my friend. And I also think Absolute Wonder Woman is an absolute epiphany of amazing comics. And it's pretty crazy that there are 2 incredibly amazing Wonder Woman comics on the stands right now. It's pretty much unprecedented. That's never happened before. So
I couldn't agree more. I feel like I'm definitely living in Kelly Thompson's shadow, and it's happy there in the shade. She is absolutely killing ass. She is doing she is paving new pavement, and I'm telling sort of these old stories, and I couldn't love more what she's doing, and be more proud to be in a company that puts that book out, and I'm glad Wonder Woman's getting a lot of love.
Nice. Well, I think despite your very immense show running duties, we will see you at Baltimore in a month.
I will be at Baltimore, man. I miss the old days of us, going down to Heroes Con and going to the auction and me and
listen again.
I miss those.
This is a you
good
problem,
days,
man. Problem. This is a you hanging out with James Gunn problem, not us. This is you. You have other things to do, so
I was.
But that said, Baltimore is low key. So if you want to hang out at Baltimore, we're there.
I was at San Diego, and I was at some fancy fucking Hollywood party, and we went into the VIP lounge. Not saying whose party it was. It was not James Gunn's party. And there were actors there, and you're stuck in this little kind of closet, and there's the crappiest band in the world is playing too loud. No one can hear anything. I don't drink, so I'm just stone cold sober, and that was not half as fun as trying to track down Ryan Sook to get a domino. It's not. It's fucking not.
Fair enough. Well, listen, buddy. We'll see you in a month. We'll see you in a month. All right.
Thank you. You take care.
All right. Love you, buddy.
Have a good night, man.
Peace.
I like how when you said bougie, Sanford popped up.
Yeah. Where's he at? Pull him up, Dap.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Shit. Everybody, welcome Mr. Sanford Greene. Welcome Sanford. Sanford Greene to the
Right
show.
on cue.
That's always.
Yo, what's good, man?
How are you, my
Yeah.
friend?
Yes, sir.
Jason Wood, everybody. How you guys doing?
Better
Doing
now.
great, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh man. What are we celebrating? It's a big moment. It's a big moment in history of our country.
1,000, buddy. 1,000, buddy.
It's a big moment of American history right here that we are celebrating the 1,000 episode
Yes,
of
sir.
Yeah.
the greatest comics podcast of all podcasts. That's correct.
Your words,
That's
not
what
mine.
you told me to
ours.
say.
That's
That's what you told me to say, Jason.
That's
You told me to say that. You was like, "Yo."
That was the payola. All right. Well done. Well done. The
You were like, "Look, man."
the Bitcoin will be in your Cash App soon enough.
Bro, straight cash, homie. No.
That's it.
Oh, he threw a pick six. Sorry,
did.
I'm
What are
looking
we
at the
doing?
game.
What are we doing?
Me too.
Sorry.
Me too.
Miami and the Bills. This game is over. It's over.
Tua is trash. Anyway, yeah, man. Thank you for coming on.
Dude, man. You when I text you, I saw your text, and you were like, "Hey, jump on." I'm like, "Jump on what?" I didn't know it was today. I thought it was next week or something, man.
We're gonna.
That's what
have
Skottie
to,
said too, because
Yeah.
Skottie was like, "Dude, you texted me like, can you come on next Thursday?" And he's like, "Next Thursday would be next Thursday." I was like, "Listen, man, like
we're all learning
you know.
that Jason
Exactly.
has an assistant who handles all his scheduling because he can't do it himself.
I tell you what, man, that communication, that still, of all the great things that you guys do, I think that communication, at least on Jason's part, is still a little shaky, man.
Yeah.
But you know, that's cool.
Fucked up.
I mean, I just walked in from the gym, and I'm like,
Listen,
I'm a little drenched right now. I don't want to, you know. That's why you only see the neck up. I could do a full body shot, but that might, you know, be a little too much. But then again, you guys from some of the comics that you guys review, you know what I'm talking about is very PG.
that is true.
It's true. Oh man. So you guys are how long you've been on?
You mean tonight, or you mean history wise?
Tonight.
Oh, since
over
like
2 hours.
8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, two
Oh,
plus
man.
hours. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a marathon.
Well, listen. I mean, it's we wanted to just have a little gathering of the friends tonight. You know, so it'll go until it goes.
Well, you know, you're 1,000 of your closest friends, right?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. But thank you for all the support over the years, man, and thank you for being our buddy and coming on the show many times, and obviously being our con boo. We've had many great times at the cons together.
I love being a con boo. I gave you guys liquor and everything, man. That's what con boos.
That's right. I got the scotch downstairs. Yeah.
Get you guys, you know, get you guys liquored up and have a good time.
It's facts. It's big facts.
So I'm very.
You're like the only person in my feed that I'm jealous of routinely, because you'll be like, "Oh, I was hanging out with Premier." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What? What the fuck? What? Like what?"
You know that's how we met. That's how we met. Not Premier. We met. Skottie introduced us.
Yeah.
No, me and Skottie, we were talking. We were at Heroes Con, and we were talking about hip hop or music, and you intervened, and you started labeling or naming like some really not some really underground artists, and it threw me it threw me for a loop, man. You just did not look like you would know.
White boy, yeah, white boy next to hip hop. I'm like, oh,
Dude, you had the button down plaid shirt. I'm like, yo, this cat is not exactly what I would, but I thought that was cool. It was fascinating to me. You actually fascinated me. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah,
someone that I might need to get to know. But yeah, that was our first encounter, at least the one that I remembered the most.
For sure. That was it was us at the lobby, and I remember Jonathan Hickman was there, and
Hickman was there.
Yep, and I think James Herron was there maybe. But yeah, we had a good time. We talked hip hop, and I remember you kind of like did the whole like Skottie like gave me my bona fides. Skottie was like, "No, this guy knows hip hop," and then you kind of like looked at me like, "I don't believe it." So you kind of gave me like one or two tests. You were like, "Oh, what you think about this?" And then I was like, "Oh."
I'm what you call a gatekeeper. I have no problem being.
Then I saw but then your guard came down. Your guard came down though because I passed the test. And you were like, "Oh, okay, he really is a fan." Okay, it's like, look at this crazy pale white boy like in hip hop. Okay, all right.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I accepted it. I don't know if passing the test is quite the word or the phrase to say. I accepted you. I said, okay.
I mean, okay. I mean, this is not the night for it, but like, I mean, I think if we're gonna have like a hip hop test, like, I mean, I'll hold my own against you anytime.
Oh wait, that sounds like a challenge, man. Hey, look, man, I'm not, dude. The only trust me, man. I listen to classical music now. I don't.
It's true. You're an old head now.
Yeah. I listen to classical music, not classical.
No, I know what you're saying. You're like you're like listening to Tchaikovsky.
Oh yeah, Beethoven, Bach. Yeah. Those cats. I got a mixtape with those dudes on it.
Nice. The Funk Flex version, the remix.
Oh no, it's all straight, no Funk Flex, because he's hip hop. I didn't want any hip hop in my classical music. I wanted straight,
just straight up chamber music.
Straight up. That's right.
What are you working on right now?
What am I working on now? Man, stuff I can't talk about.
Oh, what? Come on, dog.
I'll say this. For those who are fan of the Doom that I did with Hickman, stay tuned.
All of us are. All of us are.
Appreciate that. I mean, you guys showed a lot of love for that, and of course, with Bitterroot and where we were.
That I didn't get that page though.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm still salty that I didn't get that page that had Domino in it though. Saying somebody else bought it.
From the Doom.
Yeah,
the Doom. Well, that was bought. The entire issue.
I'm aware. Yes, I'm quite aware of that. Yes.
And apparently, the guy or the girl is off the grid.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Only Felix knows this person, which is crazy.
Well, shout out to Felix because he is the greatest art rep in the world.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I got a message from the person, and that was it. Saying, they were thankful, grateful. And,
I'm sure they were. I'm sure you were too. I'm sure you were too.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Which vacation home did that buy? Did that buy the one in Bora Bora, or is that by the one in France? Which one did that?
Oh, what happened?
I said, which vacation home did that buy for you? Was it the France vacation home or the?
I was gonna say, man, I overheard you. I heard a little bit of you and Tom King, and you were talking about his bank account. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I can join. I might be in that tax bracket. No, I'm just joking.
Sanford, I mean, nothing would please me more than to make your wealth wealthier. That is my lot in life is to make rich people richer. So if you're a rich person, I'm happy to make you richer, buddy. It's anytime.
Dude,
Just say the word.
I'm rich in spirit. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't, material items don't concern me.
That doesn't pay the mortgage.
Listen,
I get it.
But, as someone who's bought a lot of your art, I've seen how much the art costs now. It's substantial.
Yeah, there's it's been definitely a great journey here the last year or 2 years, just with everything and some of the opportunities that came from all of this, really. So yeah, I'm just riding the wave now. I'm starting to dip my toe more in writing. The next thing that I'm working on is going to be a writing thing. Well, like I said, it's in line with what you saw with Doom. There's more things like that in play.
Love it.
Say it again.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can speak to it because, I know these things are often embargoed. But is there any updates on the Bitterroot stuff? Is it not the show, or is it to be determined? I don't know if you can talk. about it.
It's script. The script. Regina King is. I don't know if you knew that. I
knew that. Yep.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, truth be told, a lot of it is what she wants, and what she feels like is going to be the final touches to the script. The script is 75% where she would like it, and we're in negotiations again with a few studios because the direction that the original studio wanted to go, she wasn't willing to go in that direction. She didn't want to go in that direction, so we had to make a decision whether to part ways with her and stay with the studio or just trust her vision. And so we decided to stick with her. So that's for the most part that's where things are right now. But we've got a great relationship. She's excited about it, which I think that was the biggest thing. You can have people attached to these things and they could be doing it simply just to for a paycheck, what have you, but she really is passionate about it. She doesn't want to just put anything out. And obviously she had some deaths in her family. Her son passed, so that was big. Yeah, that was a big. That's almost 2 years right there, man. Yeah, I mean, it was, it's news. People know about it, but we didn't, broadcast it or anything.
Of course. Yeah, sure, I get it.
Yeah. But shucks, man, I got some other movie stuff I'm working on. I'm working on Spider-Verse 3.
Yep,
of course.
I am doing that. Well, I don't know if you guys saw Robert Downey Jr. Posted about a month ago on his Instagram my Doom book, saying he's doing, I guess he made a statement about he's doing some research. So I'm just looking for a check right now.
Respect.
I don't care about no credit. Just give me the check, man.
Just the paper, man.
That's the paper. So yeah, that's basically it, man. That's
Sanford, I don't know if you remember, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but a couple years ago at Heroes, I was coming up to your table and your wife was there, and you said to her, you said, hey, to your wife, you said, hey, this is my friend Jason, and you said, he has paid our mortgage for a few months. And I thought, That is the strangest but like most fun compliment I've ever been given. Like you were like, because you were like saying I bought all your art, and she was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, respect, respect."
Yeah, that was pre Felix, right?
That was pre Felix. Well, remember, I mean, I tried to connect you and Felix for a long time. I tried to make that happen. I'm still waiting for my royalty. I'm still waiting for my royalties on that. But like,
we had a true story. We did talk about, you know, how that would be a cool relationship. But there's another person that I think was slightly ahead of you as far as like the credit goes with making that whole partnership happen. That was a boy, Lambert.
Listen, fuck Lambert. Fuck Lambert. Lambert can go fuck himself. Look, no, you know Lambert's my dog. That's my guy. That's my guy. You know
I was gonna say, man. I mean, that you're gonna have to. Oh, I can totally see you two. Like Lambo will. Yeah, he doesn't know the term indoor voice. He doesn't have one.
Lambert Chang is our boy. Dap and Lambert and I spent many beautiful hours at the airport on the way back from Heroes. We flew back to New York together.
Oh,
yeah. He is a great friend. And listen, I respect what you're saying. I think I had a little more, but that's fine. You can give me the credit if you want. Either way, I'm glad you guys hooked up. It's been beneficial for everybody. And actually, it's been beneficial for everyone but me because I was able to buy your art much cheaper before you were with Felix. But that's okay because I want to see you stack up. It's all good.
There's before Felix and then there's after.
It's true. And so you know, because I love you, I will never, ever sell any of the art I own from you in the secondary market to make a profit until I die. So,
well, that's on you, man. I mean, look.
Nah.
Once it's in your hands. Yeah, and you know, but you definitely, you know, around that time I was, you know, trying to. It's very interesting. The former art rep dealer that I was associated with, you know, all these,
yes,
yeah, you know, and so, you know, it's I was very fortunate because there was some mishandlings of finances, but for the most part, I kind of, in a weird way, I kind of coerced him into allowing me to handle my own business because I felt like he couldn't. I felt like he just wasn't, you know. And so I told him, "Hey, I'm willing to rock with you if you just let me handle my deals." And so, you know, for the most part, that worked out. And then, you know, I just thought it was time to move on. And
yeah, of course.
Shortly after that, everything kind of went south. So, you know.
Yeah, it all worked out in the end. And, I mean, needless to say, you know, obviously Vince couldn't be here tonight, but, like, you know, we have very much loved your friendship and appreciate the times we've spent together. You know, one of my highlights of Heroes was hosting you and your boys for the Bitterroot, you know, panel when you relaunched.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really do genuinely cherish your friendship. And thank you for coming on and chatting with us tonight.
You guys are the only podcast that I literally will reach out and just to reach out. Like other podcasts, you go on and I don't talk to these folks anymore after, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, you do it and you move on. But you guys are genuinely my people. And, you know, that's why I'm still standing here in my sweaty shorts, you know, after playing ball, you know, to show love.
Much love, man. I guess, will we see you at New York?
Yeah, man, that's the deal. We'll be there.
Right. See you in a few weeks then.
Yep. I think there'll be some cool announcements there. Stuff that would really pique your interest.
Nice. Love to hear it. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, much love, guys. All right, Dap.
Love you, brother.
Peace.
Good seeing you.
Peace. Peace.
All right, Dap. I'll be right back.
All right. So we are going to now, since we have a few people who are still here from before, I want to hear from the Dildinator. Once he finds his mute button. Well, if he can't find it, then we'll go to Mr. Mike Delvecchio. Or this is going to be fun to edit.
Hey, Dap, Vincent Wood is your favorite listener. No, not that one. The other one, Hassan. I just wanted to congratulate you guys on 1,000 weekly episodes of 11 O'Clock Comics podcast. Just counting the main proper show, not including all the bonus content that you guys provide us, you have provided us with 1,000 weeks of brilliant comic book talk. I appreciated not only the passion you guys bring to comic books, which makes me spend more money than I would have. Please don't tell my wife that. But also the community that you guys have created. Not only have we become great friends over the many, many years, I have met people through ERC that have become my best friends. As for my favorite book of the year, I had to plug Assorted Crisis Events by Dennis Camp and Eric Zawadzki from Image Comics. In the era of long story arcs, they are delivering one-and-done, powerful, emotional stories every month. Going back to you guys, thank you very much for all the discussion, and I look forward to the next 1,000 episodes.
EOC Familia, Vince, Dap, Jason. This is Ray, the homie from the West. Wanted to send a big congrats on 1,000. That's a crazy feat. But so glad you guys are around. So glad I found you when I did. I've told you numerous times over the years what the show means to me, what you mean to me, and that I'm glad I found it when I did. I needed that at the time for my mental health and my spirit, and I love you for it. And yeah, I'm going to be sorry to see you go. You'll be missed. But, you know, I'll still be in your DMs. I'll be on your back porch. I'll be under your bed. I'll be in your attic. Maybe I'll be in your basement. You know, we'll hang out. All right? Congrats. Love you. 1,000. Peace.
Hey guys, it's Caleb from deep inside the occupied state of Arkansas. Hey, I just wanted to say congratulations on 1,000 episodes. That is both just insane and gobsmacking and jaw-dropping and all the things. The great thing about this podcast is it's so much more than just that. What began as something to listen to, kind of a shared experience for art and comics and books and writing and stuff that you know we love as a hobby, quickly morphed into a community that I don't think I could imagine my life without. I've met my best friends through this podcast, through this shared community that you guys have created. You have taught me how to talk about art. You have taught me how to speak about literature, to visualize and articulate exactly what it means to look at lines on paper and see the depth and the emotion in that. I am a better person and a more well-rounded reader and just generally happier in my day-to-day existence because I stumbled across your little show so long ago. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all you've done and who you are, and I really do appreciate you guys. So hopefully I will see you guys on the interwebs here shortly, but until then, pop a top and enjoy this fantastic accomplishment and just truly know how much the three of you mean to me personally and to a lot of us because you're amazing, and we love you. For real, not like when Jason says it. JK.
There you go. You're good now. Nope, now you're good.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry. Pup's in the background, so she's making an appearance. Yeah. Thank you guys. Just, everyone said it already, but thank you for 1,000 episodes of greatness. You guys are the first podcast I listen to as soon as a new episode drops. So, yeah. My first episode was actually your 2013 NYCC recap episode. As weird as it was, to just randomly drop in and just try and pick up, all the context. But ever since then, I've been a huge fan. Love you guys.
No, we definitely appreciate it. I know we saw you that one New York Comic Con. I forget the name of the little restaurant bar type joint it was, but
you and your wife made little basement bar.
Yes.
Yeah, and back in 2019.
Yeah.
Right before the world shut down.
Yeah.
Because I was planning on coming in for 2020, and it just never worked out.
No, it did not. 2020 was. I remember that January, February, I met Jason and DW in the city for dinner, and ended up falling asleep on the train. So I missed the Peekskill spot. Woke up at the Garrison stop, and then was able to make it home no problem. But then right after that's when everything shut down. So yeah, that was pretty much the last night I was able to hang out with people until we were able to all get back together again. But no, that was a fun night. What if Jason's back? So we have and now Tony Fleecs is here. But no, my and your manga recommendations. I mean, they're just a blast. I am so glad to have you around on the Slack.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy your posts. Enjoy all the pictures of the pets. So I definitely definitely glad to know you. I'm glad you're here. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thank you, and thank you so much for opening the door for everybody.
This has been fun. It's. I'm glad we haven't really talked about anything that came out this week. Not that there was anything major that came out this week. I'm definitely not going to talk about the big crossover.
Nothing good came out this week.
No. But especially since there's no new Feral this week. So.
Fleece is here. Oh shit.
Yeah. See, you got to piss more often. But yeah, we
doesn't look like a suite. Are they doing you dirty?
No, this is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is a suite by South Dakota State.
This is that's the fanciest.
That's like a presidential suite in Sioux Falls. It's like,
yeah, they treat me just fine.
Take me through the logic when you're like, you live in LA in a very palatial estate. You're a West Coast guy. It's like, hi, this is Sioux Falls Comic Con. I'd like you to come. Like, what's the calculus there where you're like, yes or no?
Well, here, this is deep Tony Fleecs lore for 11 o'clockers. But I lived here when I made my first comic. I lived here from like 2000 to 2006, and then that's when I put out In My Lifetime, which is my autobio comic I did years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, I owe you that Feral cover. It's on my desk. Sorry.
Don't read the chat. Talk to us.
This is why I don't pop up, because people will come after me for artwork. But yeah, I lived here, so they started doing this show like 10 years ago. They reached out, and then I just come every year because I get to see old friends, and then also when I put out a Stray Dogs or a Feral or something like that, I'll sort of build readership in this area by coming through and selling volume 1 year, and then I come back the next year and I'll sell them volume 2 and 3. So it's just sort of like setting up little small franchises one weekend a year in these little spots that you might like flyover parts, parts you might not always go.
Yeah. How did you end up living in Sioux Falls for all those years?
I went to, so they remember when they shut down all those Art Institute schools because they were a scam. They told people that they get jobs, like they had like a 90% placement rate. I went to one of those, and they told me that I could get a job easily out of school, and I did not. And then the first job I could get that was artwork was here in Sioux Falls. I did the TV graphics at the news for years and years, and so that was like the first art job that I had as a grown up.
Oh man!
So I was in Colorado, and I had a buddy of mine from school got a job at the same place, and then I just,
not even through the school, just like he was like, this guy can also use Photoshop.
You're another one of those guys like we were talking about with Skottie earlier tonight, like where it's like been fun to, having done this now for 17 years, like we've literally seen you from the start to the now. Like we've seen you from like I can't pay my rent. I'm going to do commissions for you guys because I need to pay my rent.
Those little cards?
And literally, I think, were you charging like $5? I think it was like $5, right?
Yeah.
Like
$3.
Oh, because just so you know, by the way, just so you know, in my son Jackson's room, still are 8 Tony Fleecs commissions from that.
Even back then, you were balling. You were like, I'm going to get 8.
No, but I'm saying, because it was for your rent, dude. It was for your rent.
Yeah.
But real talk, and then we met. I think we met at C. That same year.
I was trying to think about that.
We met. Yep. And then it's like so incredible, man, to like see you now to the point where like, you're the man. Like it's kind of crazy. It's crazy.
It's cool. Did you guys have Skottie on? Who else has been on besides all the people I see here?
Yeah, we've had we had some British people on that were like kind enough to show up at like 2 a.m. their time. They're coming.
Tony's still here. Tony's still here.
Oh, Esmond's still here. Damn, he's just a trooper. You had Skottie, we had Sanford, we had Tom King on.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been fun.
I'm excited to listen. I just want to hear all the stories of the people that how long they've been listening and stuff like that.
That's what we're doing. We're going around
like
the
I
room
said,
doing
we met you in the forums. Like, were you listening from jump? Because I don't like. I met you on the forum.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was here because you showed up like a few weeks in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think episode
I
4. Episode 4. Yeah.
I was here enough to think that you were the new guy. So.
It took Daff like 2 years to like forgive me for that. By the way.
Yeah. To warm up to him. Yeah.
I mean, Dapp holds grudges. Everybody. I know this is a shock to y'all, but like Dapp was like thought I was a diva because he's like, motherfucker can't show up for the first 2 episodes. It took like 2 years of friendship. He was like willing to get over
that. What did it? Just
plus, there was also the bankruptcy, so you know.
You know what? It was like Vince reached out and was like, "You want to do a podcast?" And at the time, I was like, "No, like I'm busy. I don't know." Like, and then he talked me into it, and then it was like, "Yeah, cool. Like that'll be fun." And then, honestly, I just think the first few weeks he was like, "All right, we're recording," and I was like, "Oh, I can't tonight. Like I'm busy." And yeah, and like fortunately for me, like finally, like the 4th week, I was like, "Oh, I'll jump on," and then
I got time to kill
because.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like honestly, I didn't really like consider it that important at the beginning. I was like, whatever. Like if I have time, I'll do it. And but then it was like hella fun. And it's fun. This is a lot of fun. So,
did the sports podcast come after this, or was it around the same time?
No, football. Well, I've been involved with the football guys long before this 25 years. But like we have actually these days football guys has many podcasts. They have like 6 or 7 different podcasts, which are all their own thing. But like, but the main one then was called the Audible, and I was on it, but not. I was a guest. I wasn't the host.
Yeah,
I would just come on periodically. Yeah.
Have you already done this? 17 years. How many houses have you lived in that time? Did you have at least one of your kids you had at that time, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's not as dramatic as that. Like, we've lived in this house that I'm sitting in right now for 18 years. So, just 17 years. Like, I moved from. Long story short, I was in our original house. My wife and I have owned 2 houses. The first house, we started the show at that house, but then quickly, like literally within like the first year, moved from that house to this house, and I've been here for most of the show's history. We moved in here in 2008, so yeah. So I mean, mostly here, and then in terms of kids. I already had 2 kids when we started the show, and I've had a 3rd kid since. My 3rd kid is about to turn 16. My other 2 are 22 and 20. So, but in terms of like life, when we started the show, I was an analyst at my firm. I'm the chief investment officer. My wife and I were like married for 7 years, like the 7-year itch. Now we just hit our 25th anniversary. one of my kids is out of college. One of my kids is in college. The third one's about to get his driver's license. So it's like life journey crazy, man. Like absolutely crazy. I mean,
was this your 7-year itch? Is this what you did to spice things up?
I remember recording our first few episodes in our kitchen in the house, and my wife coming down and like lamentations of the women, like being like, "Are you serious? Like, you know how loud you are right now?" And I'm like, "Sorry, like we're just talking." And she's like, "You gotta quiet down. Like the kids are asleep. Like I'm trying to sleep." And fortunately, we moved to the new house now, 18 years later. But like the new house, which is much larger, and so I have my own little room. Dude, one of my favorite memories of you, Tony. I don't even remember like how many years ago it was, but like I remember describing my home to you and saying something about the great room, and you were like,
"Oh yeah, I think about it all the time."
You were like, "What's a great room?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And you were fascinated. You're like, "I don't know. Like, is that like a living room? The living room like still grand."
Yeah, I still can't wait to see it. I gotta come see it someday.
Standing invitation. Standing invitation.
Sure.
I mean, yeah. So
yeah, I haven't been on the East Coast too much, but I will make my way over there.
I mean, I think as Dap can attest, my home is it's a fancy home, but like it's cozy.
Sure.
Right, Dap? Like would you agree? Like it's not a pretentious home.
No, it's not pretentious. It's inviting. It's warm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can almost. I don't want to say you can almost get lost in it, but yeah, if you take the wrong turn down the stairs, you're going to end up in a different area that you weren't expecting. But it is.
It is a well appointed home, but like it is comfortable. It's not like your auntie's house. Sit because the couch is plastic. Like our entire home is livable. Like everything in the home is inviting. It's like it's meant to exist in. It's not meant to like be like gawked at.
In my house, I did not put a TV in the main room, the living room, because I like that to be a place for conversation, fellowship. Correct. I have a TV.
There is no TV in the great room. There is no TV in the great room.
That's what I was wondering. Is that part of the great room?
There is no TV. There is a movie projector screen that drops down.
Of course. There's IMAX.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, there is a theater screen that drops down, but like that's separate, and we don't use that very often. But there is that. Yes.
Won't bring that out around company. That's just for when you're being cozy.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. That's not true because when Apple TV premiered Foundation, we got to watch that in the great room.
Or like if like we watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl, or like we're gonna watch like a movie or something.
It's, really important events.
Yeah.
David, you've been in two or three places since the start of this. How many places? And
two. No, this is the second. This is the second place. Right? Yes. We got married in 2005. We moved into the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was that.
But nobody has had a bigger happiness conversion since we started the show than that.
That is true.
Is that right?
That's
really found yourself.
True. Whether it's here or just post 50 life, but yeah, no, I'm in a much better physical, mental headspace. I couldn't be happier here, physically here where I'm living, and in this place, because the house was a nightmare. It was Tom Hanks and Shelley Duvall in Money Pit. It was not a happy place. It was and any episode that I had missed was because of the infrastructure around the house, because the power went out. So that was it. But like Jason, the first few episodes I recorded in the dining room in the old place, and sound carried, even though the bedrooms were upstairs. The house wasn't constructed well. So then eventually I found a different room to record in. But now here, this is the office, so I get to just do whatever here. But no, yeah, it's been great. But it's only been two homes since, and I think maybe the same with Vince. I don't know if Vince moved right before we started 11 o'clock.
No, Vince is two homes. Vince is two homes.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
because it was done more on Instagram. But yeah, so yeah, so the podcast helped a small move.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Yeah, you've bought your first home since we started the show, Tony.
Yeah.
You've married and divorced since we started the show.
Married and divorced. That's right.
Yeah, you got us beat there.
I did the whole thing.
Kudos. Kudos.
Hopefully, you'll stay beat in that regard. I feel like you two are doing pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm locked in. We passed the 25-year itch. I figure like we're good from here. We're like, we're solid.
I was gonna say, I think I've been in California the whole time I've been, like you guys have been on. So it was 2008. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then so I've always been the whole time I've just been working in comics, but it was unsuccessfully for the first 6 years, and then slowly more successfully as after that. So, but then there was a long 10 years in the middle there where I was being successful but making My Little Pony where nobody knew I was being successful.
I love that time because I got mad good commissions from you.
Yeah, that's a good time. It was a cheap commission time.
Yes, I like that time.
What do you think has changed the most as far as comics? Like, I know coming in, Jason, I feel like you've had the biggest evolution as far as like you've broadened your horizons the most.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
David, what do you think? Like, what do you think has changed the most in your reading? Like, what sort of things are you excited about now that you wouldn't have been in 2008?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about this a bit earlier, like, in the sense that, like, obviously for me, if you go back and listen to episode 4, I was going to say 1, but 4, I was a Marvel zombie. Like, I just read Marvel comics, and, and then from there we kept evolving. But, like, now I read almost no Marvel. But I think, like community-wise, I think the biggest difference is just manga, man. Like, I feel like manga is the thing now. I just feel like, my kids all read manga. They don't read comics. They don't read American comics. They read manga. They watch anime. It's just like, I think, like, I wouldn't say manga's popularity is new. I mean, like, I would think, like, the manga emergence in the U.S. actually happened probably when we started this podcast, like 20 years ago. It's probably when it was, like, really starting to happen. And then I feel like it kind of, like, leveled off for a while. Like, people were into it, but, like, it wasn't necessarily, like, gaining any momentum. And then I feel like the last 5 years, man, it's just been, like, all the growth has been YA and manga, and I think for reasons that make sense, but, like, demographically, but ultimately for me, it's just like, I'd say that my reading now is 20% Marvel DC, and even if I'm being honest, half of that 20% is, like, mid, but I read it because of momentum and nostalgia.
Yeah.
And then, like, almost all the things that I'm most excited to come on the show each week and talk about, and, like, implore people to buy and, like, be like, you got to read this, is all just other publishers, and obviously that's very different than where we were at the start of the show, when I was, like, the guy that was, like, being schooled up every time one of the other guys talked about a non-Big Two book. So that's the biggest thing for me. But again, it's like a 20-year journey. I mean, it was a long journey, but now it's like, I mean, I just I feel like there are still good Marvel and DC books, but I feel like a lot of them feel like slogs to me, and it's part of that's just because I've read it all already. It's just like it feels very redundant.
It's hard to try and do something original or to try and do something.
Well, you're living that life now, right? Like you did the thing, and now you're doing the like gotta be. I mean, again, like I don't envy y'all in the sense that, like, it's got to be hard. I mean, how do you do something different in a world where these characters we've had thousands of stories with these characters.
Yeah. You're right. I'm writing characters about, like, kids, but they're actually, like, 45 years old. Like, I just lean into trying to figure out, like, what my voice is for the characters more than, like, I feel like it's easier to bring a unique sensibility to the characters than it is to bring a brand new, situation or scenario. Like, that's sort of where I'm at right now. Like, I just find I put a plot together that's it's good enough to nobody's going to be like that was boring, but then all the parts that are enjoyable for me at least are the character stuff and the taking what I know about a character and then sort of extrapolating from that new stuff up front. But it is daunting when they're just like, "What do you think about this character?" And I'm just like, "Oh, we could take them on this sort of journey," and they're like, "No, they can't do that." They're like, "Oh, all right, well, at these cats, I could just do whatever I want with them all the time." I feel like that shifted the same way manga and like YA comics and manga and independent comics sort of being the for me it was like the starting point to having like a successful mainstream career, I guess, like from being in licensed kids comics to being in this, where it used to be you'd go to Marvel or DC and then you build your way up and then you'd make your image book. It's so the paradigm is so different now that it's like I sort of put my head down and work on some of these things, and then I can just go and truly do whatever I want at my main job, making image comics.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like I think that like also as we discovered with the pandemic, like there's I think we as comic consumers are much more open to unique distribution, right? Like we're not like as beholden to like going to a store or pre-ordering, like whether it be crowdfunding or Substack or direct publishing like online. Like it's just I think like consumers are just either by training or just experiential force, we're just more used to like being open to discovering comics in lots of different distribution methods now, which is cool. I think that's good. I think that's ultimately good. But I do think like, what's that?
Speaking of Substack, did you guys read Spectators?
Dude, it's funny you say that because that is the one book other than Breathtaker, which Dap and I both read this week, that I read this week that I was going to talk about. The hardcover. You talking about the hardcover that came out?
Yeah.
I fucking loved it, dude. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Now, of course, it's Brian K. Vaughan. It's Brian K. Vaughan, so it's like not a surprise that I loved it. Like I can't think of a Brian K. Vaughan book that I haven't enjoyed. But I remember trying to read the Substack. So for those that don't know what we're talking about, Brian K. Vaughan and Nico Henrichsen did a Substack comic believe it started right at during the pandemic. And it was a weekly. I don't know how often it came out, but it was like a periodical thing, and they did a panel or two or page or two, and then finally it's over now, and so they put a beautiful hardcover out of the thing, which I just got and read, and I think I remember reading it during the early days of the pandemic in the Substack and finding it boring in the sense that I just didn't like having it was like not enough. The fix wasn't enough. I would read it and then be like, okay, now I have to wait. Like, it just didn't seem satisfying to have to wait as long as it did per page.
Well, they were putting it up in pages, not chapters. So it was just like you would just read.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It was like per page. Yeah, it was like almost like a comic strip type of. Okay, yeah. Like. So for me, it didn't connect it like that version that distribution method didn't work for me. But I do love BKV certainly. So I did order the book, but I thought it was great, man. Like, obviously very topical. The week of Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled, like it's ultimately like this fascinating look at this strange it's a strangely American thing. I know some of you that are even here tonight like are not Americans. Like we have this strange American concept where like we are incredibly puritanical when it comes to sex. Like we don't let people watch sex. We don't let people air sex. Like it's like taboo. And then like the most violent shit ever, we're like all about it. Like, like you can show someone getting decapitated, but you cannot show someone fucking. It's the most ridiculous thing. And it's like this quasi puritanical thing that we have in this country. And like, I think Spectators is like all about that, right? Like it's about this idea of like, we glorify violence exponentially. And then we find sex so taboo and like so hard to access, and it's a thing I completely agree with, and it's a message that resonant for anyone that's like lived in this country for all or most of your life, and it's like it was really well executed, and it was sexy and fun. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was really beautifully drawn. First of all, like I think that's the best looking Nico Henriksen I've seen, and I love Pride of Baghdad. Like Stray Dogs wouldn't exist if Pride of Baghdad didn't exist, right? Like that was sort of a template for not necessarily the style, but like this is what it's like. But so I love their work the whole time. But this is, and I liked them when they were on like Young X-Men, and but this is incredible. And then just like so dirty, where you're just like, good lord, they're just going crazy in this thing. Like it's it's funny because it's a Brian K. Vaughan comic, and so they're gonna sell tons of them. Like this is gonna be the dirtiest comic in many houses.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the people that buy Saga, the people that buy Paper Girls are just gonna be like, well, I'll get that too.
There are people fucking in all throughout the book, and they're fucking like hardcore, and it's like orgies and anal and threesomes and trans sex, and it's definitely it's graphic for sure.
That part too, I thought it sort of felt like Brian K. Vaughan wrote this as somebody in their like late 40s, 50s too, because it did feel sort of like the way, because the story is, it's not really spoilers, but it's about dead people who haven't left the earth yet, and they're spectators. They just watch what people do. They watch them like TV shows. And we're following somebody who was killed in a mass shooting, and she just is horny, and she just floats around and watches people have sex, and she's seen every different version of it, and she follows them like they're soap operas. She'll follow some people for years and stuff, but she has this sort of like calmness to her because she's dead and she can't do anything about it, and there's no there's no anxiety about it. She's just sort of like, oh, I'll just watch this or I'll do that. And it sort of felt, as somebody in their 40s now, in the late half of their 40s, was just sort of doesn't have the same anxiety that he used to have. It's sort of, that part felt very real to me, where it's just like, oh, I'll check this out, or I'll see what's going on over here. Where a younger person, I think, could have wrote that same material, where it's like so excitable and so horny about the horniness of it all. Like I felt like the casual nature of it, just being like dead and just having no, like, she can't have sex, but all she can do is just sort of look at it and and observe. But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought, like, one of the things I love about Brian K. Vaughan is how he does the most extreme stuff, but always makes it feel very warm and personal, but also not in a not in an elevated way. Like, it feels like comfortable the way talking to your neighbor feels comfortable, or like talking to your cousin feels comfortable. Like, these are real people. They feel like normal, ghosts who watch people fuck in the future. But
yeah,
I too thought
completely.
I thought it was, I was reading it and I was like, it's crazy that it came out this week. And then I was like, oh, I guess this could just be any week that it came out. And I would say that, like, as Americans, we have a real obsession with violence. It seems to happen all the time.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, like, obviously they made this comic years ago during the pandemic, but like the opening scenes when she's murdered is like incredibly visceral and unfortunately like incredibly timely, right? Like, it's hard not to juxtapose its release, and obviously it's pure randomness. Like, the fact that it came out when it did is absolutely random relative to what's been happening, but like, it's like, oh wow, like, it just did really feel like, it's like, just like, oh wow, this has been shit we've been dealing with for a while now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
the way
like
they
mass shootings and murdering, yeah.
The way they extrapolate it, because it takes place like 100, 200 years in the future or something, 300 years in the future, and
yeah,
so they just sort of go on this path, and it's like, oh, now they're just dropping atomic bombs sometimes, and like, it's all the same shit posters and the same, nobody's doing it for any real reason.
Yeah, like, these incel guys have evolved, right? Like, instead of like mass shootings, which is how she died, like, they're dropping nuclear bombs, to your point. They're literally killing off like entire cities just for the sake of it. Like, there's the scene where the guy's even like, I'm not like racist. I don't have any I don't have any issues with anyone's sexuality or like gender. Like, he's like, I just want to see how many of you I can kill. And then he's like, so he drops the nuclear bomb. It's like, yeah, like, obviously BKV's working through some shit, but I enjoyed it. I mean, again, as much as it's I think it looked great, and I love the sexy time, so lots of sexy time in the book. So yeah, definitely a big fan of it for sure.
It was just so nice to have that come out, and then a Brubaker came out. It felt like the dream of the '90s was alive, or the early 2000s, right? Like the new Brubaker Phillips came out, that came out, New Powers came out. I was expecting there to be like a Warren Ellis book or
your excitement over meeting Bendis and the Powers book coming out got me to read it last week.
It was good, right?
It was. Yeah.
Because I had read it all the way through. Like I read it up through where it ended at DC, I think. And there were times where it would sort of like limp and just sort of like, oh, they're just sort of doing it,
Yeah.
And, but this, I felt like it really crackled this issue. Yeah, and those guys very, very important to me. I was like a Bendis boarder. That's basically how I ended up here. Like Bendis board to Word Balloon to Round Comics.
Yep,
that's true. Yeah. All right, brother. We're gonna turn the tables to some of our very, very patient.
I will.
Hey, fourth host. Fourth chair. You're always.
Did Tana come?
No, she's actually she's in the city. She's actually in New York, but she is unable to. I was pestering her earlier. She's unable to sit in with us tonight. But she
anyway. Tana is Vince's fourth chair. You're our chair. So
okay.
That's all you gotta know.
Well, if she does pop in, tell her I said hello. If Vince pops in, give him my love.
You got it, brother. Love you.
As always, I'll listen to the rest of this when you put it out.
Enjoy Sioux Falls.
Peace and love.
Bye, guys.
All right, Dab. Let's start getting some peeps up in here.
Well, I know that I know Trevor's been here for a minute. We can go to Trevor and then Kevin.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, I'm out at sea on a cruise. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is good enough. Can you hear me okay?
Dude, for a while, I'm shocked that you have this good a Wi-Fi on a cruise. That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, you have to pay for it now, but it's working well. But anyway, I'll try to be quick here. 12 or so years ago, I was really getting into digital comics, and I was like tracking all the sales and stuff, and I was doing it for the board that I was on, but I decided, you know what, maybe there's some other boards where they talk about digital comics, and I just did some Google searches, and I found, maybe it was called Munden's Bar at the time, Dap. I forget if that was one of the iterations.
Yep,
it was.
So that was the floor.
Yeah, so I just started posting all my deals that I did all the time, and I had no idea who any of you were, and I'm ashamed to admit it, kind of, because I was 40 or whatever at the time. But I didn't know what a podcast was. I just found this board and I started posting, and I kind of stayed in that little niche for a while, but then I spread out and kind of read some of the other forum, and you guys were really cool. So I finally decided to check out whatever this podcast thing was, and started listening, I guess it was somewhere around episode 400, 12 or so years ago, and coincidentally at the same time in my life, I went through the one time of my life that I was in like a deep depression. Like it was bad for a few weeks. And like the only time that I've like really gotten to the farthest end of depression you could get to. And one of the main things that got me out of it was you guys. And it was the love that you guys had for each other. The three of you could just like feel it. It was like palpable how much you guys cared for each other. And for the hobby, the hobby that I had been, a big part of my life for like 40 years, and that like snapped me out of it. Like I just like, snapped out of it after listening to you guys for a little while, and I didn't realize how quickly I was like becoming part of the community, even though I was kind of a lurker. When I went back and listened to old episodes, that mentioned me. Even before I had ever listened to a podcast, he mentioned me for helping him with some digital comic thing. And I was like, that what you guys do for the hobby and for each other and for all of us is what has kept me listening all these years. And I love you guys.
Oh man, it's really kind of you.
Means a lot.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great time on your cruise, my friend.
Yeah, happy birthday.
It's almost over. Oh, thank you. You too. September birthday,
thank
June
you.
9th.
That's right. Virgos.
That's right. Respect. Well, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of the cruise. And get off the Wi-Fi. It's probably costing you a fortune.
Right?
We bought the package. So.
Oh, perfect.
Nice. Okay.
Good. Enjoy yourself.
Respect. Respect. Thanks, buddy.
How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing great. Hanging out, talking with you guys now.
Mr. Quas, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. I guess I'll go through my history. I think I started listening in the teens, so pretty early on. I was a lurker for years and years, raising kids. I have 3 kids, and my kids are now 28, and my 28-year-old has 3 kids, so I have 3 grandkids. My older daughter is now 23, and she is working in Atlanta. So we went and visited her last week. So like I said, I've grown up with this show. And then probably a big moment for me was meeting a lot of people in person. So I've met Brian, I met Frank, I met a couple other people before I went to Heroes. And then obviously I met a lot more people at Heroes. So that was a great time and giving people a lot of hugs, documented or helped document a lot of Heroes the last 4 years. So that's been great. I'll give a recent story of that I haven't posted on the Slack. But my daughter was home, my younger daughter, who's now a junior in college at Tennessee, was home working at Principal at an internship. And she went down and met her boyfriend in St. Louis. And so this was over the 4th of July. And so on the 4th of July, they went and saw fireworks not too far from the St. Louis Arch. Well, they got out of their car, parked, everybody was there. They walked down, saw the fireworks, and came back, and their car had been towed. So this was, middle of the night, midnight, and the company that actually towed it to East St. Louis, which is not a good neighborhood. And they called my wife. And so this was Friday into Saturday, and then my wife wakes me up and is like, my daughter's, her boyfriend's car got towed, and they were stranded in East St. Louis, and like my daughter's stuff is in the car, and the towing companies won't let you get to the car to get that stuff out, and the company was going to charge them $700 to get the car. That's $700 cash. And, I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do? I live in Iowa, and St. Louis is about a 5 to 6 hour drive. And they're only open from like 9 to noon on Saturday to go get the car. They don't have any way to get cash. So, friend of the show, Jonathan Wilbur, I texted him, I called him. He went and got $700 cash out.
Wow.
Went down, drove down to the towing company, the impound lot there, helped get them that, give them the cash so they could pay. I obviously sent Jonathan money, but I mean, he had to go to his bank to get cash out, because most debit cards, you only get out about $200 at a time. So just the friendships I've made through this show saved my ass that time. And so when we went down to Atlanta this last weekend to see my older daughter, we were traveling through St. Louis, so we stopped and had dinner with Jonathan. And so my wife finally got to meet Jonathan after hearing me talk about him. And the comment that my daughter and her boyfriend made, my wife made, is, Jonathan Wilbur doesn't look like he's a comic guy. I'm like, what does a comic guy look like?
He is a handsome devil, if that's what you're implying. Yeah.
No, he's a good looking dude. So, but yeah, the friendships I've made here have been great. Love seeing people at Heroes. So just thank everybody. Thank you guys. Love the show. Love them being, connected to the show. So.
You are an incredibly kind person, and you've been a supporter from the jump. And the only nitpick I have about you is that fantasy football, and I hate being in a league with you. But like, other than that, man, like, it's all good.
Because I listened to your advice.
I know.
And I follow
Yeah.
it.
No, I know. But no, in all seriousness, man, thank you so much. I mean, you've been here from the start. Like, I mean, I don't know if you were patron number one, but you've been a patron almost from the very outset. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like literally from like the first week. I think you were like I remember you were like the first person I remember like exchanging messages with on the Patreon. I was like,
yes.
So yeah, man. So
that was one
I
of
really
the few. At that point, it was like
was
the
you,
bat
Carlo,
phone or whatever it was
Roland?
called.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure. Well, man, again, much love to you, and thank you all for all the years. You know, I hope the new house is treating you well. So,
Yeah, I just got bookshelves put in. I still don't have them all up.
Yeah.
You can kind of see them behind me. So I've got some of my Hawkeye stuff up there, but I've got about 8 more shelves I can put on both sides. So I'll get all
now,
my
I was
book
talking
up
earlier
there
about how my wife doesn't, you know, she's not into comics at all. Where does your wife sit on that? Like, has she ever read a comic?
Yeah, I mean, she'll never go to a con with me.
No, of course, but I mean, has she ever read a comic?
No,
or?
she has. I'm trying to think of the one that I gave her, but it was kind of I think I had her read Halo and Sprocket, and that's like a crater here or a crater just south of me in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was more along her lines, and she thought it was fine, but she has no desire to read any comics at all.
Yeah, so say we all.
Oh.
Yeah, all good.
And like I said, if you were talking about manga earlier. My son, 28 years old, that's what he reads. So I've got a ton of manga some of it I'll put up over here, but most of it he has at his place. And like the grandkids, you know, I have Stella's 4, Scarlett's 3, and Elliot just turned 1 and just started to walk last week. But the 2 girls, one of the things I got them at Heroes was stuff from One Piece. So
Nice.
I had them do like the Hello Kitty ones, and they did different. He did different One Piece characters for me, and so all the kids got a One Piece Hello Kitty character. So yeah, they're
awesome.
they're already more into the manga and anime, and so
Respect, brother.
And Heroes would not be heroes
Who's up
without
next?
Kevin chronicling it. Next,
What's that?
Heroes won't be heroes without Kevin chronicling it.
Oh,
Facts.
I think we'll do Pete and then Mr. Equinox.
Thanks, Dap. Yeah, I appreciate you guys welcoming us all into the fold here for episode 1000. Congrats, that's pretty unbelievable. I feel like an interloper because I only signed on around 600 or so back in 2019, and I've loved the show, but when I think about like what makes it so special for me, it's like part of it was the pandemic. I remember in 2021, I lost my job. My wife was pregnant. We had just bought a home, and we had lockdown here in Nova Scotia, so we couldn't go anywhere. And I was just like reading books from the library as best I could, and kind of in a doom scrolling bubble. And as people have said, like your friendship and your love for the medium was just like really grounding and positive, and then the online spaces you guys curated were really amazing and welcoming. So it was a really special community, and obviously the three of you guys have like very kind of divergent but similar tastes in different ways. So it was so cool to get to know like what each one of you guys vibed with and what resonated. And yeah, it's been a blast being a part of the Slack. And I haven't been able to make it into the States for any shows or anything, but I did get to meet Brian Clark and KJ and Rick, and then actually yesterday I just met Trevor here in Halifax. So I've met a few EOCers over the years, and one of these days I'll make it down to Heroes and get to meet the rest of you guys proper. But yeah, it's just I'm so appreciative, and I love the show, and you guys are unbelievable. And I know that there was a question on the Slack about the best thing we read this year, And so I know nobody else has been diving into it, but I quickly want to mention, I've read a lot of good things. I read Drome, of course, which Jason espoused on perfectly. I went back and read Mega Hex, which was some Simon Hanselman I hadn't gotten to, which, I think Vince would appreciate, and finally got to Klaus's Monica. But the best thing I read this year was A Guest in the House by Emily Carroll, E.M. Carroll. And I think Jason, you spoke pretty highly of it back when it came out a couple years back, maybe 2 years back. But, if nobody's read A Guest in the House, it is unbelievable. It's like got this sort of, if you're familiar with Margaret Atwood's Edible Woman or Sylvia Plath's A Bell Jar, it's got that sort of like introspective feminist message, but it's got this psychedelic imagery and this sort of tense, supernatural thriller vibe going on. It's just, it's that would be still my best of the year, even though I read it in January. And Drome came close, but I think I Guess in the House still has it.
I will allow it.
Okay, fair enough. Appreciate it.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Like, you're always a positive voice on the Slack, and it's always great to see you around. And so
absolutely,
I do sincerely hope we get to meet in person and hug at some point in the future. But until then, it's great to see you online.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man.
Thanks tons for being part of it.
You.
Mr. Chavez.
Good evening. Is this thing on?
It is.
All right. Hey, from way back on the Bullpen Bulletins beta days.
That's right. A fellow fan of the sexy ladies.
Yeah, exactly. I'll try and keep the nose to as little as possible. Throw a quarter in the swear jar each time. But yeah, I mean, man, I love this show. I love everything as far as how it's grown from back in the BBP days, and adding the special sauce of the Woodster just has put the show's fantastic. If it wasn't you guys espousing the love of comics every week, the community that's grown up around it, I have to say it's the only social I really look forward to checking on a daily basis. I've got memberships in some of the others or what have you that I just leave out there, but I can't tell you the last time I've posted anything else out there. It's all just kind of looking, but I look forward to hearing from everybody, hearing how everybody's doing, whether it's comics related, personal, humor, pictures, what have you. I just can't say enough and can't thank all of you enough, both the hosts and everybody else involved, including this really hot Southern guy that's over here to my left on my screen, who motivates me to try and be a better person physically on a regular basis. Now, not to his same level, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for everything that you do. I can't say enough. You guys are blessed human beings. We are blessed, and I'm so grateful to have each and every one of you, everybody that's here on the screen, everybody that's out there on the Slack, even the people that don't post out. There's one in the quarter, yes. Even the people that don't post out on the Slack or don't even maybe throw a review out there or what have you. I just think it's a fantastic community that we really need to have more of in this day and age. A lot of people could learn a lot of great things from just how everybody is just open and kind and understanding, sharing, supportive. Hats off to you guys. You guys completely deserve to hit 1,000 and beyond as far as I'm concerned.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you've been here from the beginning, dude. Like I said, Bullpen Bulletins, man, we had lots of different forum threads, and you and I were very much, we were definitely two of the seeders of the spicier stuff. And
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and obviously we're all grown up now. We're all grown up, but like, yeah, you're a constant, and always bringing a vibe of positivity and interaction, and it's genuinely appreciated. So thank you for that.
There are two things I'll always connect Chris with, well, aside from Equinox, but it's Marvel Team Up and the Monkey Room.
Yep.
If we're not somewhere where he says, can we put a Monkey Room somewhere? Then then the place doesn't exist. So yeah, I'm so glad you've been with us.
Nowadays, I think the humor in SFW is probably the Monkey Room light.
Yeah,
it's not the same. It is not the same, but it's the Monkey Room is just pure objectification of beautiful people,
and warped humor. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
there will never be another one like it. But I mean, we've tried here and there.
Rest in peace, Monkey Room.
Thanks again.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah,
you are the best. I think since I haven't seen him in ages because I'm not on Facebook all that often these days. But Dave Proust is in the room.
Oh, can he not hear us? Oh, I see him mustering. Can't hear him though.
I cannot hear him.
Yeah, we're talking to you, buddy. He's like, damn it,
technology.
He's trying. I see him working it. He's trying.
Well, we can go to Caleb while he figures this out.
Gonna put me on the spot like that?
That's right, baby. Come on.
My man, if you get the microphone figured out, just jump right in. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mean to jump on this. I thought this was Chatterbait, so it was what I came to. But that's not what's happening.
I guess Rutger's not within earshot because
no, he's already asleep. He's old. He's in bed.
That's right. He's the sugar daddy. That's right.
Yeah, he's got to go make us some money tomorrow. I just got to get frustrated at my job. So, man, it's good to see everybody. It is.
Yeah, it's like see you too, man.
Does the heart good to see all you guys on here. I wanted to jump on earlier, but I was actually recording with the Comic Book Bears. Doing
Respect.
So
Bill Z posted a very beautiful post about the episode 1000 on the Facebook at some point this evening, and it was very, very thoughtful. So yeah,
he is an eloquent fellow, and he actually told me to tell you all hi. He was going to try to jump on too, but I think he's been up for like 16 hours today.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to go home and crash, but he told me to send you all his love. But yeah, man, I just love that everybody's telling these stories about the connections, because that to me is the best part of what this podcast did. I was talking to Bill a little bit about it ago, and it was amazing that I got back into comics as a grown up, took a little bit of a break for a little bit, and started looking for just like, hey, I'm the only person that reads these things that I know. I live in a rural state. There's not a lot of stuff around here. I know some folks from a comic book shop, but I want to hear smart people say smart things. And I checked a couple podcasts out, and just wasn't what I wanted. And then stumbled across you guys and just started listening, and then found out there was a Facebook page. I was like, all right, let's go check this out. And then started talking. And then for a second, I think Jason hated me for a little bit.
What?
Yeah, man. No, this is ancient history. I don't know if you remember this. One of my favorite things. I jumped in on a very jokingly Rob Liefeld thing.
Oh, yeah, you were anti-Liefeld. That's right.
Yeah, you had to bring the hammer down. And you're like, no, sir, not in my house. And I'm just like, well, what's the rules? I didn't know.
Which come around your way now. I've come around your way now. So,
which led to a beautiful friendship. And not only did it lead to a beautiful friendship, legitimately, talk to you guys all the time, but it also connected me with other people. That is the most beautiful part. People that I talk to every single day. People that I would drive across the country and have driven across the country for. And that to me is the most wonderful part about this, because we all have this connection to art and literature. And it makes sense when you think about it, because what we're doing is we're taking something else that somebody experienced, right, that they put into this wonderful work, this visual language, and we're dissecting it, and we're looking at the emotion that's built into it, and we're looking about what those lines are telling us, and how visceral the reaction can be. And that's completely emotion, right? That is, you can't, well, I guess you can, there's a lot of people do, but nobody in this little familia that we have is the type of person who can have that connection with the art and the literature and then not express that in their real lives. And I think that is a wonderful sentiment, and something that that's grown very near and dear to my heart. We connect as people over this thing, and that's what art should do. It should make us have hard conversations, but it should bring us close together and celebrate what that is. And I've taken that and just built this kaleidoscope of human beings that I could not live without. I think about, what my life has been like and the changes in my life since I've listened to you guys, how I went from doing construction and doing some contract work for a military contract, to the encouragement I got when I floated the idea of going back and finishing and just getting my undergraduate degree, and talking to people who really didn't know me, the encouragement I got from. And then when I started talking about going back to wanting to be a lawyer because of the work that I do with the unsheltered community, and just having people say, "Hey, go for it." The only people who told me not to go to law school are people who have law degrees. But the support from the community was so much, and I don't know, I've got it up there, but to the point that I put pictures of people that I've met through this podcast on top of my little graduation hat and wore you guys with me because that's how much it means. And you just don't get that anywhere else. Social media, for the most part, was a bad idea, but it gave me this little corner of the universe, and it is something that I cherish immensely. And I will carry that with me always. And you guys have taught me how to think about art. You've taught me how to think about the craft of creating comics. You've taught me how to speak about that intelligibly and articulately. And that is something that, even though for me it is just a hobby, and I think for a lot of us it's just a hobby, it has been wonderful what the connections that we've been able to make, and just the love that we've been able to develop out of the juxtaposition of words and pictures. And there's power in that. As Vince would say, that's magic, right? And that's not just like hocus pocus magic. That's real magic. That's the threads of the universe. And I'm glad that I get to have that little, those little spheres of the heavens at my fingertips. And it came from you guys, and that's pretty cool. You little architects of culture.
Incredibly well said, man. Spoken like a true lawyer. Very eloquent motherfucker.
All right.
It is hard to believe. We talked a lot like earlier in the show, like when Fleecs was asking us like how our lives have changed since the beginning. It's like when I think of all of the people that we consider friends that we've built from the show, like you often come to mind in the sense that, like you said, like 17 years ago to now, like your life is so different. It's like it's incredible, and it's like and also like you have always been like I think about like again. We live in a world now where, like, because of the badges we all profess to wear online, like people genuinely are quick to find reasons not to connect with each other. Like it's almost like peacock feathers. Like you're like, oh, let me see if this person passes these 5 tests before I want to interact with them, because they're probably if they're not down with me, they're not like me, then I don't want to know them. And I think and again, I'm very much guilty of that, incredibly so I'm not professing that's just the nature of the internet today. But when I think about it, if I go back to the roots of the show, like Dap and Vince and I are not similar people in a lot of ways. Like we've become very close over the years, but our worldviews, our upbringings, the way we approach relationships, our relationships to family, like socio-demographics, like we're not like necessarily like aligned in a lot of ways, such that I don't know if we didn't have this love for comics, if we would have become connected, much less brothers. Dap and Vince are 2 of the closest people in my life, literally. They're like on my 2 hands, they're 2 of my closest people, and were it not for our love for comics, that wouldn't be the case. But like the reason I bring it up is because it's like like that sort of like common interest in a hobby pulled all of the presumptions we might have had about each other in all other ways away, and we just came to know each other as human beings. And then like all the rest of our differences were just things we found interesting or fascinating with one another. And you, Caleb, are like, to me, a poster boy for that, right? Like Like you are a generation younger than me. Like you're a decade younger than me. You know, you're a queer man from the South, right? Like again, like if you were to like whiteboard demographics, you and I would not intersect, like most likely, other than the fact that we had a mutual love for comics and like geek culture and everything. And then because of that common interest, we became very good friends, and I love you to death. And it's like that's I like I'm always like I am every day thinking about that with our show, that like I don't know how that translates into like the real world, but I think all the time, like with what's going on like in the last few, this Charlie Kirk shit, like it's like I think about like somehow we lost our ability to connect with each other en masse, right? Like we more look to disconnect with each other. Like it seems like the goal is to disconnect from one another, or to like find differences with one another such that we can rule you out. And like I love that like comics, and I'm sure again there are other hobbies, whether it be movies or music, whatever we're into, like there are other versions of EOC community, like there's a million of them, like where we find a common interest that's so genuine that we put aside all the other pretense and we become friends as human beings, and then all the rest is just bullshit. Like then we're just interested in knowing each other's differences because we're interested in each other, and it has not like it's not any way. And I just think about that a lot because like all the jokes aside, I mean, obviously I'm like, straight white capitalist old dude, and like I'm sure for a lot of people I'm an easy discard. I'm easy for people like, oh, that guy's not. So like I really do appreciate that like our community mostly puts that aside and like judges each other for who we are as humans. And like I think you're like always a poster boy for me when I talk about this, because again I think like in a lot of worlds we just would have never known each other, and yet we've become great friends over the last 10 years because of like this. So yeah, much love to you, brother.
And I think it's because we have that capability of, and maybe it comes from the fact that our roots go back to something akin to story, right? And story has nuance. And when you have really good writer, I mean, yeah, sure, there's the hyper masculinization in comics and stuff like that, but when you have nuance to something, and we're talking about nuance in the books, well, that reflects life. It's one of the things I love about Jeff Lemire, right? Like his books are nuanced, and they reflect the spectrum of life. Like, and it's a broad thing. Some people are they are blue collar and they are workers, but they care about their families. And you're like, okay, well, this is not an algorithm. This is not a profile. This is a human thing. And if we can talk about what makes this character, who's just lines and words on paper, a human, and have depth and have, verisimilitude, then we can talk about that with each other. And for me, and like you mentioned earlier, I am a gay South, and David probably can. Bruce can probably relate to being a dude from the South that maybe is not like a lot of his. But I think we have to be versatile into who, in the way that we talk to people and interact, because to some degree, we're in a very hegemonious society there's not a lot of people like us. But we can't shun everybody, right? We can't block off every single person around us, because that's isolating. And I think we have to understand that, for better or worse, people are people, and we have to find some connections, because we do need that community. Now, there's some things that we're just not going to tolerate, right? And that's
of course,
fine. Because there are some deal breakers. But when you can talk to people, at least in my experience, and it probably helps that when I am a gay dude from the South, but I'm a very particular type of gay dude, so, and I'm more maybe digestible to people who are not of that community. And so I think that helps break
those. You're sexy, that's for sure. I mean,
well, but yeah, I can talk about football with you. I train soldiers, right? I love those things too. I like sports. I like these kind of masculine things. I listen to metal, so I can break down those doors. And it's like, hey, gay people can also like that thing. Let's find that thing to talk about. Comics, what have you, and we can build those bridges, and that will lead us to talking about each other's lives. And I can figure out the things about you that maybe I was, holding off at a distance, that I don't need to. It's like, okay, this is not just a black and white issue. You have a reasoning and thinking, and there's a communication involved with that. And over the years, I think that we've all been able to do that. So that, one of my best friends is now a, Peloton obsessed Wall Street guy who lives in the great part of Jersey, and a Jewish dude in who is a IT guy that I ask how to turn off my computer and turn it back on occasion. And a dude who lives in Pennsylvania. And a dude who lives in Dallas, and guys who live in Wisconsin, and just this big group, men and women all over the place. That any city I can go call up and be like, hey, let's have lunch, right? And they'll be there, kind of like Kevin was saying earlier. So it's just that, man. It's just that connection. It is what art was supposed to do. And I think, for better or worse, I'm glad I found a tribe of people who do the internet the right way, and that are just really good at cutting through the bullshit.
For sure, dude.
I love you guys.
Love you too, man. Yeah, I really
you too,
appreciate
bro.
you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you guys. This is your house. I'm just happy to live in it, man.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Proust, are you available now? Can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. What's up, kid?
All right. Sorry, I had to pick from like 20 different microphone options, and I've only got one. I don't really know why, but figured it out. So, yeah, long time no see, guys. But I gotta say, I absolutely love you guys. No matter how much time passes, I feel like people can drop into this community and enjoy themselves, and it's a good, safe, supportive place for people. Just kind of echoing some of the sentiments that other people have said. You build something that I think is pretty impressive. It's a supportive, caring, online digital community that when people come together, everybody has a good time. But when they're apart, everybody has a good time. I don't know the secret sauce and how you've been able to do that, because I think a lot of other communities have failed miserably in doing that. But for the past 17 years, you guys have been able to manage that. And that is a massive, massive accomplishment, especially right now. So hats off to you guys. Love you guys very, very much. I think about you all the time. I always want to jump back in and say hello, but I've talked to Jason a little bit. My life has changed drastically in a short period of time, much less 17 years, but within the last like 1 or 2 years. But hopefully getting back on it and wanting to get more interactive in the community again. But original prompt, I think, was like, when did we start listening? I started listening pretty early on. I was working for Dallas ISD, an independent school district, as a school psychologist, and every Friday I would do my paperwork and then catch up with your podcasts on there. And I think the reason why you stuck with me versus so many other comic book podcasts, some of them had massive, massive, audiences, and it just didn't connect with me the same way, because the chemistry between the three of you and the balance between what you enjoy and your different perspectives just seems to work really well. And I think it worked from early on in a lot of ways. Maybe it didn't work in all the ways, and you had to make tweaks, but for the most part, the chemistry was there between you three, and it was amazing. And I will tell you this: I finalized my divorce about a week and a half ago, and today is the anniversary, our wedding anniversary. And I was just drained. I was drained today, and I did an autism evaluation. I had like 6 therapy clients. I got home and I was like just drained. And then I saw David's Instagram thing, and I'm never on Instagram, but it sent me a notice, and I was like, okay, what's he talking about? And I saw the episode 1000. I saw the Discord thing. And I'm like, yeah, I got to do that. I got to jump in, because no matter what is going on, jumping in with you guys, whether it's in person at Heroes or when we're at the bar at CP,
or New York Beer Garden, the Beer Authority,
Beer Garden, yeah, all that stuff. It's always, it takes me away from all that stuff, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys for that. Amazing community. I've gotten to meet guys like Kevin and Caleb, and again, like, the community supports itself. And like, I know Caleb and Roger, we're coming out to Dallas, and we're gonna have plans to meet up. Like, let's just, and he was gonna take some time from his vacation and come meet up. I mean, it didn't work out because my wife at the time was violently ill, and we couldn't do it. But just the fact that, okay, hey, we're in the same vicinity, we're gonna get together, we share this thing, and we're gonna support each other. I can't tell you that dynamic happens a lot, and so really appreciate this community, and I hope it lasts for another 1,000 episodes, honestly, because you guys are just the one of a kind, truly unique. So thank you so much. Love you guys.
That means a lot, brother.
Love you too,
Thank
man.
you tons.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, I'm sure I don't want to speak for Dap, but I mean, I hope we do another 1,000 as well. Obviously, it would feel weird to do another 1,000 if our boo can't be with us. So we're obviously hoping that. But yeah, but obviously the intent is that we'll keep going for a good long while. So yeah, that's the hope.
All right. Well, I'm going to follow you guys no matter where you're at.
Appreciate you.
I love being in the fantasy leagues with you guys, and just even at that distance, it's kind of nice to see your names on there. And Jason's always nice to swear at you for winning the baseball league every year, and it's the most frustrating thing I think of the entire sports baseball season is watching your name up there every single friggin' time. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. Hats off to you, man.
Man,
It's nice to be the commissioner.
Oh yeah, because that has a lot to do with it. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you're another one we've had great times with in person many times over the years. I know you've been going through a lot of fucking life stuff lately, man. Like a lot, and kudos to you for like getting through it. But like, to whatever extent you're coming out on the other side, we see you soon at a con. I mean, obviously you're yeah. So,
yeah, I absolutely. I think about you guys more than you know, and I definitely want to get more involved and back with the community.
Appreciate it, man. Sincerely.
High priority item for me. So
nice. Appreciate it.
Before my AirPods die, I think we'll hear from Drummond real quick.
Oh, Drummond's here. Shit.
Oh shit.
He came back. He popped back in.
Oh, there he is.
I did.
What's up, kid?
What up, y'all? I was having some maw issues and had to dip out, but I think we're good. So, yeah, I kind of said my piece in chat, but you guys have been a lot for me. I'm more emotional talking about it than I thought I would be. You guys inspired me to make some changes in my life that, had I not made them, and also had it not been for your support, I don't think I'd be able to take care of my family the way I am.
Appreciate it, man. It's really very kind of you to say. I've always found you've always been incredibly candid. Like, for the listeners out there who don't participate in like the patron or the Slack community, like Drummond's always like, he's like, he suffers. He does not suffer fools. Like, if he disagrees with you, he's not afraid to come at you and be like, I think what you just said is bullshit, dude, and here's why. And like, again, as like maybe some people are listening to like, oh, okay, well that's cool. Like I don't know. I can't speak to how anyone else lives their lives, but like I live in a world where, for the most part, like because of like I'm older and like senior at my firm, like for the most part, I think people they default to like wanting to agree with me or like be kind. Like me, like just it's like their innate, like you just want to generally. But Drummond's like, nah, dude, like, I think you're on some bullshit right now, dude. Like, much respect, but like, I think that's bullshit. And like, because I don't get that very often, like, my nature can often be like, oh, who's this motherfucker? Like, fuck him. Like, what is he? But with Drummond, because he's got a lot of goodwill and we've known him for a long time, like, I'm like, my like first second reaction is like, this motherfucker. But then I'll like process it, and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, I gotta hear what he's saying here, and like I gotta process it because he wouldn't be saying it to me if it wasn't real. And there aren't many people like literally like in real life or online that give me that veracity. So I genuinely appreciate that you never spare the truth as you see it, regardless of how it may land. So
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
it.
There have been a few There've been a few DMs between Pete and I that have hit me right when I needed to. He always seems to be there. And yeah, it's may not know everything each other is going through, but there's enough similarity there where we can kind of bounce things back and forth off of, or at least be shoulders to one another. But yeah, he is there. It's weird, and I know that this is going to this episode, for those who are listening to it. It wasn't my intent tonight to have this be like some sort of love fest, or everybody just
Sure,
like throw flowers our way. But it's not. It's been 1,000 episodes, and I don't think it. And for me anyway, it's not just hearing what people have thought about the podcast, but it for me it. I know we've always said, it doesn't matter how many people are listening. If the three of us are just going to get together and shoot the shit about what we read this week, then that's all we're going to talk about. But people are here, and we do this. We do have the Slack. We do have the communities we have because of everybody here. And I mean, the people who've been in here throughout the night, the people who couldn't make it, the people who aren't patrons but still listen. Like it's been 1,000 fucking weeks, and it's still wild to me. I know that I've said that I'd probably be in therapy if I didn't have Vince or Jason to speak to about whatever the hell stupid shit I read that week. I'd be talking to my wife about it, and we'd have been divorced years ago. So there are just certain things that it's definitely a relationship that works both ways. I love everybody who participates in the Slack, who listens to what we say, who reads what we write. And I appreciate everything that the listeners comment on, or they'll post in the Slack, or they'll have things to say. It's nothing is dismissed, nothing is ever shrugged off, no eyes roll, and I mean, yeah, I know, and like Jason, I'll sometimes be like this motherfucker, but for the most part, we always know where things are coming from, and it really is from a place of love, and we've been doing this because we are one big happy family, and I love you all, and I don't know what else I'd be doing a few hours every week if it wasn't for everybody here.
Well said. All right, bring it home, Dappy.
So yeah, so obviously we're not going to do our new travels because, like I said, my pods are dying, and I don't know how long that would take with everybody here. So I think we were just going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. Thanks to Max and Tony and Skottie and Sanford and Tom and everybody else here. I definitely appreciate. We will have a there were things that Jason and I were going to talk about tonight, which can very easily be discussed next week. That's not a problem at all. So this was definitely not your normal episode, which was, I'm absolutely fine with that. So yeah, we will be back next week with our more or less regular episode. I thank everybody for stopping in tonight. As always, this episode is sponsored by cheapgraphicnovels.com. You heard from Max earlier. That's pretty much all I've got. We're on Jason's on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We got Blue Sky. We got the Patreon, 11 o'clock comic. Patreon.com/11 o'clock comics. Join so that next time we do something like this, you can join in and be a part of it. That's all I got. Anything from you, Jason?
No, just echo it, man. Appreciate everybody that came on tonight. I appreciate many of you that were in the chat or the Discord but didn't get a chance to speak on it before you had to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I also...
There were many of you...
No, I'm sorry. I also didn't realize that there was a limit. I know the people in the Slack were trying to get in, and they were waiting for people to drop off so they could pop in. I didn't realize that there was about a 24 or so limit on that. So
I didn't know that either. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll try to cycle it or do things. We'll try to streamline it for next time when it comes up. But yeah, everybody who wasn't able to sign. I know we saw Daryl. We saw a few people who popped in that weren't able to chime in. So I do apologize for that, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I'd say this was a great first experiment. You know, obviously we did this for a special occasion, but I mean it went. So I don't see any reason why we can't do this more frequently if it's something people dig. Just again, like sort of a hangout. I know we did some of these kind of things during the pandemic, like Google Hangouts and stuff, and we got away from it. But this was fun tonight, so I'm down for doing it more frequently than every couple of years. So we can do it more frequently than that. But yeah, thanks for everybody, and read some damn good comics, and we'll see you all next week for the Arabian Nights episode 1001.
There you go. Perfect.
Love you all.
Again.
Thank
you.
You.
Thank you, guys.
Peace
Thanks,
and love.
guys.
All for that one.
There you go. Nice.
See y'all on the flip.
Later.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Later.
Greetings from the state of Flippadippa. I am the Flippadippa, and I just want to say happy 1,000 episodes. I've been listening to the show for many years now. I think I was 12 years old when I started listening to the show, and now I'm 48. Anyways, I just want to say how much I value the friendships that I have made through the old boards and the Slack, and honestly, I am ecstatic that y'all made it to 1,000, and I hope you go another 1,000 and another 1,000 and another 1,000. And also, Vince, Jason, and the Dap, my boy Dap. I'm glad I know y'all, and I can call you friends, and honestly, I am so happy for y'all. Anyways, I just want to say congratulations on 1,000. Now, watch me hit the shit out of this ball. Okay, my phone fell. Oh, that's not a club. Here's a club. Here's a ball. And you can't see the ball. I'm going to adjust the phone. I'm still adjusting. Bear with me. Shit. I don't have the ball in view. Hold on. I need to move it closer. Okay, right there. Here we go. I'm running. I made a hole in one. Thanks, 11 O'Clock Comics. See ya.
That's it for that one.